Brady King, man. Brady King.
What up? What up?
Bro, you look really good, man. It's crazy
Thank you.
because um like visually you look just as big as you did in open.
Mhm.
So like compared to everybody else, it was like he was just way bigger. I think structurally you're so big that you're gonna be bigger than everybody structurally, no matter what. Even
Yeah,
let's say they had more muscle than you wouldn't be able to tell because your structure is
yeah,
so big.
yeah.
So the thing is that most people with a big structure can't make the weight, right? So that's the thing. So somehow you're light, even though you're that wide. So it kind of works out great, you know.
It does. It does. It also creates the same downfall that
Mm,
I left Classic for.
mm-hmm.
That we just got to figure out how to get past. And um, Boss peaked me fantastic. I mean, that was an incredible peak. Um, but my quads never really came back to life all the way. They looked
Yeah,
good. I mean, it's tough when you're standing next to guys that are, top five, standing next to Terrence Ruffin. Like your quads are going to look small if they're not super bubbled out. If your quads are a problem. So, but
yeah.
I still think, man, like 2 weeks out where they were at was perfect, and I think we can get there from a different peak style. So,
What
like that picture that's right there to the right was like 10 days out.
this one or this one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Here's the good thing, right? So you have fullness to trade because you were fucking inside out, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Jose or Josema because you guys are so peeled, you can actually trade. You can actually push the food. Obviously, after you make weight, you can actually push the food more. And I wouldn't even say sacrifice condition because when you're that peeled, I don't think you. I think you look just as peeled. 5 pounds
Yeah.
heavier, right? 5 pounds heavier from peel to the bone is still peel to the bone.
Yep.
you
Yep.
know.
100%. 100%.
So
Yeah. What we did too is we pushed food pretty heavily, and you see like in the side quad and like the hamstrings in the back, and especially in my favorite classics, that's where like that sweep just had so much more oomph to it that ended up on stage. Um, and what we did is he started to slowly pull water out towards the end of the night as food went higher and higher. I mean, we ate an insane amount of food, more than I ever have. We were at the
uh,
point
uh,
of,
what do you consider a lot of food?
oh, dude, we were eating like 250 grams of carbs every hour to 90 minutes.
Well,
No protein, very low fat, like 5 grams of fat with every other meal. Um, And it was mostly clean food up until we added cookies in. We started putting cookies in. I think we did 4 cookies from like 10 o'clock the night before until we got on stage. And every single meal had 40 grams or more of honey. So he wasn't afraid to push the sugar. He wasn't afraid to push the food. We slowly lowered sodium and lowered water throughout the night as food kind of went up higher. And the next day didn't really do much water at all. And then did like a Gatorade and salt stuff, normal pre-stage stuff that you would do.
well,
I think what we can do is trade the food for water, especially
okay.
the day of. Um, and the back half of that night, we could trade the food for water, and I think that's gonna create a better look because I just look a little more alive at the night show. I don't know if I have anything posted from the night show.
You
But I
mean
just,
you mean a little bit more water, a little bit less food.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah. I remember Phil Heath would say, they asked him, yo, how did you always come back Saturday night so much better? Did you eat up? He was like, yo,
water.
honestly, I just drank water. It sounds so trivial, like such a small thing, but your body is composed of mostly water, right?
Yep,
So
yep,
but unfortunately, like you can't. Okay, you know how you say you could practice a peak like a couple weeks out. Technically, yes, but you don't really know how it looks on stage unless you do it game time.
yeah. Well, and
You
you're not
know.
going to be as sensitive. like that's like when people tell me about like mock peaks and stuff, I'm like, you're not going to be as sensitive as you are when you're truly peaking. Like when you're peaking, you can't look at me and tell me that if you did a mock peak 3 weeks out, that you were as hungry as you are going to be when you're actually on stage peaking. Peaking.
It's
Fuck no, not even
no,
close.
no. Even
Even if you're
even
peeled.
Yeah, even if you're the same exact weight you would be on show day or on show week, it's not the same, bro. And sometimes it looks different. It
Yeah.
always looks different. So with bodybuilding, you really can't practice unless you compete. So it's like every show you're taking notes, you know. So now I'm assuming you're gonna do more shows.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
then so now you could try out your theory, and it might look 10 times better, or it might look a little bit not as good, and then you'll be like, okay, well now I know how to get the perfect balance. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to go, we're not going to go too dramatic. Like, we're not going to like, instead of 250, I mean, it wasn't exactly 250 grams each meal. It started at like 150 and slowly rose up. But I mean, it was constant over 100 grams of carbs every fucking hour. It was a pain in the ass. I hate to eat too. That's what sucks is like, I'm not a big eater to begin with. I wasn't digesting the food super, super well. It looked, by the time I got on stage, my vacuum looked just fine. I'm going to tell
Okay.
you right now, no, it was not fine. Nothing about my midsection was okay that day. It felt like I had no control over my
Really?
midsection that day. Yes, it was. I had really bad acid reflux and indigestion. I was extremely bloated. I wouldn't say extremely because extremely bloated is like you ate Ben and Jerry's right after the show, and like that's that. You ain't gonna beat that bloat.
No,
But
no.
it was the most bloated I had ever been before stage, and I just honestly the only way I could fix it was right like as we were lined up, I was hitting a bunch of vacuums like I would in the morning, like whenever I'm like training my vacuum.
Yeah.
Because the way I
Yeah.
figured it is if I can like there's a certain amount of control that you feel of your transverse abdominals after you do like a hard vacuum set. It's literally like getting a pump to
It's right.
you know what I mean to those things
Yeah.
to transverse abdominals and to the diaphragm. So I just kind of did that so that way I had better forcible control and made it look good.
Yeah.
Finals, I wasn't that bloated. I felt pretty good at finals.
Yeah.
But again, we put water in. I pooped. you know. So
Um. See, I've always felt that before stage, the day of the show, before prejudging, I have to keep my food really low, man, for me to have like. I feel like
focus.
once you lose the mistake, even if you have the smallest waist in the world, what happens is that having the smallest waist in the world, you actually have more room for protrusion because it's so small already, right? So the smallest bloat is gonna pop out. You'll see it. It's like a skinny girl getting pregnant and they have a
Yeah.
huge stomach, right? Whereas if a fat girl gets pregnant, it's not as noticeable. so so it's one of those things that I try to get enough food, like try to go to bed maybe not spilled but pretty maximum full, so
Yeah.
that the next day I don't have to eat that much. You know,
Yeah.
it's so important. And you once you lose your stomach, like you come in your, I remember coming in my biggest, right? Maybe like I was like 260, you know, and oh yeah, I'm so big. But when your waist is when your waist is bigger than the rest of your body, you don't
Yeah.
look bigger. Now you just
Yeah.
look like, right? Because now your arms look smaller and your legs look smaller because you lost the taper,
Right.
you know.
And you're so focused on trying to keep it into that you know, maybe let go of glutes in a side chest, maybe in a front double. You're not thinking of your positioning of your upper body. Maybe in your rear double. Well, I guess you probably wouldn't fuck up your rear double. Um,
Yeah, shit. I've seen people have like their stomach oozing out from the side from the back pose. I'm like, God damn, bro. that that's
yeah,
overboard. That's
yeah,
overboard though, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's actually literally how I looked on. I think it was Monday when I went to train Monday. I still had all the food from the weekend in my
Mm.
stomach, and I think I had a cookie before for pre-training on Monday too. Because I don't know what I bro. Here's the problem. people like to offer you stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
When you do a show.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say no to people, and I feel bad if I do. Even if
what you
like
mean?
I know, I'm like, I don't really want this
I know that
person
what you
to,
mean.
you know what I'm saying? But then that next thing you know, bro, you end up with so much sweet treat bullshit that I'm overwhelmed. I still got fucking like 10 cookies. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with these fucking cookies? Like, why did I get so many fucking cookies? I think I have 8 left, but I'm like, why
But
did I
you
get a dozen cookies, bro? Fuck.
but you feel like you gotta eat it.
Look at this shit.
DC, what's that? That's pies?
No, so we got the brownie business.
Oh,
No,
okay,
I
okay.
don't
Oh
want your
yeah,
brownie. Don't
yeah.
even offer me. Don't tell me up, bro. Look
Yeah,
at this shit.
we're just
I
packing up
can't wait for
orders
this
right
one.
now. So
That looks
No,
fire, bro.
yeah,
I'm I,
we got
I gotta
a
get some. I gotta get some of
little,
that, man.
no.
little side business. I'm sending Alyssa's hers tomorrow.
Fire, fire.
Yeah. Brady, congratulations too, by the way.
Thank you so much, man. I
He,
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he looked
absolutely.
really good, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, but
All
I'm
jokes
actually up
aside,
there.
I'll always talk celebratory brownies.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Hey, two of my close friends both have like pastry businesses, and then every show that they'll bring it, right. And the last show, it was so much, and I was on the semaglutide because I didn't want to pig out, right. So they keep they taste it. I want to see how it tastes, and I'm like, I feel so pressured to eat it. It's the stupidest thing. You would think that you would be dying to eat this food, but I
Right.
was already. I'm thirsty, you know. You want like a smoothie or something,
I,
and
I
I'm
always get I always go to 7-Eleven and get a slushy. It's one of my things. I gotta
Oh,
because I'm so thirsty and I don't like I can drink all the water in the world. It doesn't hit. That
yeah.
motherfucking red and blue slushy?
It's different. Yeah, it's both.
Yeah.
That's the best thing for me after the show. Like a slushy or smoothie, even like a shit, even a froyo, some shit like that, something like cold and refreshing, diet soda, all that. Before I can even eat, I gotta drink up. But I felt pressure to eat, and I'm just sitting there eating it, and it's good, but it's not hitting, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
damn. So I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have, and then I'll throw it in the freezer, and then weeks will go by. I'm
That's
like,
what I do.
you know what? I got to give this away or throw it out because I'm not getting through this shit, bro. You know, you
Yeah.
guys remember when you were younger and like a week before the show, you would go fill up the pantry, right?
Yeah.
You try to assume what you're gonna crave. Oh yeah, recess and this, and then post
Then you don't
show,
want it.
bro, every time. And then after the show, you're like, I think I'm good, or I want pancakes instead, and you never get to it. You
Yeah.
you never get to it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Did you guys like your first couple of shows? Did you guys like go crazy?
I still go crazy. I
Oh,
don't give a
really?
fuck. I don't give a fuck, bro. Listen, if I took a diazide and like I did a lot of diuretic stuff that could actually like be harmful to the kidneys if I fucking go crazy, I
Yeah,
won't. And I do watch my ankles throughout the night and like the next
yeah.
day. But the second I start, like, I'll take a little bit of edema, but like I've had it to where like one time I rolled my sock down and bro, this part of the
Oh,
Gatorade, I mean, it was like spilt over. I was like, oh no, I gotta stop.
hell no. Now you
But
gotta clean that.
I went crazy that time though. Like that was like it started with Italian food, turned into cheese. Like it was probably 8 straight hours of we went here immediately to this place, and then immediately I had stuff at home, and then immediately into like the bags of gummies that I had ready, and then immediately like while I'm doing that, there's stuff in the oven. Like it was bad. But I still
So
go crazy though, man. I don't like as long as I know I'm healthy, I don't really care.
you got the metabolism for that too, though.
I don't let my
Like,
clients do it.
no,
I
no, no.
tell my
Well,
God.
because some people can't get away with it. Like for you, honestly, let's say even if you put on 15 pounds, for you, it's probably 10 pounds. I mean, probably 13 pounds of water. You know, with me, I actually put on body fat, bro. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't think you could put on body fat that fast, but I'll actually put on body fat that week, and then I'm like, damn, I look like I've never competed. I just look like I've never competed. So it's like if somebody sees me a week later, like back in the days, they'll be like, "Yo, what the? Didn't you compete last week?" I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, man.
Leave me
Just leave me alone.
alone, bro.
Yeah, leave me alone, bro.
DT, I feel like
Because
you go crazy.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What happened?
I feel like post show you go crazy. I feel like you're the
Oh,
do
snack
you
king.
do you
nah,
go
bro.
off?
No,
I'm actually opposite. I continue to diet.
really.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, you know
I
what though? I get, that does check out because you were kind of bigger, younger, weren't you?
yep. And
Yeah.
I just continue to diet, dude. I'll do a thing to where at a certain point I can't do it any longer. But I'll continue to diet for a couple months after the show just to see how lean I could stay. And that's recent about after the last two shows I've done. Also I can't eat a lot,
You
surprisingly.
don't have
I
appetite?
can't even.
I just can't. I get full very quickly.
Okay,
So
man.
for me to go out and have a burger and fries and then like a piece of cheesecake, I'm fucked. Like my stomach, I'm uncomfortable full, which
Yeah.
is
Well,
bizarre because I used to go to buffets dude, back in the day. Oh
Right, right.
man,
but
oh fuck.
your appetite from like from 21 to 31 is a big difference, bro. It's a
God.
huge difference, you know. But at the time, when I tell you I could sit there, have a whole extra large pizza by myself, no problem, and still have wings, like a 10-piece wings. And honestly, like maybe I'm a little bit bloated, but I'm fine, bro. I could eat in like 3 hours. There's no chance in hell I could eat a whole extra large pizza by myself. Like today, I just couldn't do it. There's no way, you know.
If I'm not post show, I can't. If it's just like a regular cheat meal, I never finish all my food either. Like I'll finish the main part. Like if I ordered from this place for a burger, I'm
Yeah,
eating that burger. But my French
yeah,
fries are gonna be like touched into the appetizer, kind of touched into the Coke, a little bit drank, and
yeah,
and
yeah,
I won't let the sweets go though. If you got a cookie in there, I'm eating
What,
that.
what,
I don't care how big the cookie is. I'm eating that whole mother. I don't care if my stomach's out to here and I'm gonna puke. I'm eating that motherfucking cookie.
I
you
do
gotta
have
get
to
it down.
say one thing that I wish I would have done last show was take a GLP post for the hunger, because I mean, let's be honest, rebounding is the hardest because of hunger,
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the one thing I wish I had. Um, and I'm gonna try that shit this year for sure, or next year.
That that's more important. The controlling your appetite on the rebound is more important than the actual. Like you might think you're hungry in prep, but you're even if you're trying to do the rebound the right
Starving.
way, you're
Starving.
way hungry. Yeah, you're way hungrier. So like that's honestly like I started like 8 weeks out, and it'll probably kick in 6 weeks out ish. But I purposely do that so I could first of all, so on the carb up, I don't start thinking crazy like, yeah, I want to do a muffin or some shit, right? So and then post show, I want to be calm about it because when I'm on it, I'm not freaking out like, oh my god, I can't wait till Saturday night to go crazy. I'm just chilling, bro. I'm like, yo, this oatmeal tastes good. I'm okay, you know. So and if you rebound correctly, you set yourself for the off season to be so much better. And when the off season is so much better, the prep is so much better. So literally the rebound is making your next prep better,
Yeah.
right?
And I do want to clarify too. I go crazy. I give myself usually until Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
right after the show.
Yeah, yeah,
And what I'll do is so that weekend, the Saturday night of the show, and then Sunday, or I don't give a fuck days. There are no fucks given. There's no rules. Like
yeah,
there's nothing unless if I took a diazide, then I'll watch sugar. But
yeah,
that's about it. For the most part, no rules.
yeah, yeah,
Monday, Monday, I usually want to train. So what I'll do is my normal breakfast, normal pre, normal post, and then like a chicken and rice, and then I'll do a meal at night. And then I'll kind of do the same thing for like Tuesday with like a dessert. Same thing Tuesday, and then kind of same thing Wednesday. If I make it to Wednesday to still doing that, which usually I don't, then that Wednesday it's all right. We're done. Back to it. Like even if it's not in prep, but like it's time to rebound. It's time to you know time to get it all together because the rebound is so important for so many reasons. But like I don't want to end up in. I've ended up in off seasons where 300 grams of rice feels like a mountain, and that's not a lot of rice. Not even 100 grams of carbs.
yeah, yeah. Right.
that can't feel like a mountain, and that's because I've done it to myself before, where I've screwed my rebound up and not cared as much, and completely like messed up in off season, and you're not as sensitive, and then you have to like resensitize, or your coach don't pay attention and doesn't resensitize you, you get fat. Like I've done it both ways. I've had both things happen. I've had bad blood work, I mean, nothing crazy, but like, I've messed up my own blood work just from food. So like I've learned the hard ways because I've been a jackass so many fucking times. So now I'm like, okay, I can be a jackass without fucking myself up. I know how to do this now for me, and then get back into it. And I think that just comes with time too. That's why I try to like limit my competitors, because they don't know that sweet spot. And like you said, everybody is different. Some people can only do a meal and then have to be Sunday morning on back doing cardio. You know,
Well, speaking of bad blood work, man,
you got bad
my
bloods.
blood, huh?
You got bad bloods.
No. It's the opposite. My
Yeah.
bloods don't budge since I've started.
Yeah.
It doesn't budge at all. Even my hemoglobin hematocrit. I used to do EQ, Anadrol, Tren, all just run it up, and it wouldn't budge, right? And to the point that I started thinking that it sounds stupid. I started thinking something was wrong because it wasn't budging. So I'm like, yo, they're not checking my blood. I think my blood is too thick, so they're not getting a good reading. I think it's not my blood. Something's going. I was thinking something has to be wrong because it's not wrong.
Yeah.
To the point that I went to donate blood. They said, "Oh, your hemoglobin hematocrit is too low." I was like, "No, there's no way. I'm a bodybuilder. How is gonna?" And I talked to Compton. He's like, he's never seen that. So you must be anemic as fuck.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I mean, hey.
I forgot the blood disease that actually is.
well, here's the thing. I used to not eat much in school, and then I would pass out or get migraines, which probably means I was anemic. But
Yeah. I was gonna
because
say that.
but I started gear at 19, so I didn't give myself time to even know what the fuck is wrong with me.
It's not a disease. I forgot. There's a name for it.
Yeah.
I fucking totally forgot.
Well, it's one of those things that I mean that might be a blessing for a bodybuilder, actually. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, my point was, you would think that would give me peace of mind. You don't gotta worry about your bloods, but then it's the opposite. Now I'm like, one day I'm gonna wake up and then all of a sudden my creatinine is gonna be 6. Well, one of these days is gonna be the day, because it's like imagine your life is good. It's too
But
good.
you keep it all in check though, don't you? Like you take
I do, yeah.
something for, so that's the thing, man. Like the only time that one instance was the only time I've actually ever seen my own blood work messed up, and my creatinine was a touch high, and my T3 or my I think it was my T3 was running a little bit low, because usually I run it like if the threshold's 3.8, I'm like 3.9. Like
Okay.
I don't technically have hyperthyroidism, but like I have just over where it should be, and it's always ran there, and it was a little bit under where it should be. So like to somebody else, they wouldn't even, if I had a new coach, they wouldn't even thought about it. But because I know my levels, and that was simply from my own diet. But like with all the other stuff, all the other bloods, if you take care of your shit and you take, like precaution, there's a reason they're called precautions, a precautionary shit. You know what I mean? Like you're preventing the issue from happening because you take all of your health shit and take your health seriously now, not wait until there's a fucking problem, which a lot of guys, they wait until there's a problem and then they'll take care of it after that continuously. But it's like, I never understood, like, bro, I've always, maybe it's because I worked at GNC early, like when I was young. So I was like obsessed with covering all bases because it was cheap for me. And so now it's just like part of my, you know what I mean? Like I just make sure, like I'm always on a liver supplement. I'm always on a kidney supplement. I'm always on a heart supplement. You know what I mean? I'm always taking CoQ10. I'm always taking my fish oil. I'm always on a multi. Like there's nothing that's ever missed.
What saved me is that I was pretty young. I was like 26 maybe, and I had pneumonia. Right.
How old do you know?
I'm 32.
You old as fuck.
Yeah. So I had pneumonia, and at the time I didn't really understand like acute issues versus permanent issues, right? So
Right.
you get pneumonia, you're in the hospital, you're holding water, right? Now you're losing. I ended up getting rhabdo as well because they were giving me a bunch of diuretics for the pneumonia. So you got rhabdo. So once you have rhabdo, your kidney levels are elevated, right? Your body starts to almost shut down. The pneumonia, your heart is working harder because you're holding so much water. So everything is fucked at that moment, right? So my ejection fraction lowered, my creatinine went up. So in my head, I'm like, oh my god, it's it. I'm gonna die. My life is over. They're gonna shit on me online and say, oh, the baby died, steroid fucking. You know what I'm saying? So in my head, it freaked me out so much that I became like a health nut for a time being. But then obviously everything went back to normal, right? But it's good that I was scared because since then, even though like I like to downplay shit, like as far as bodybuilding, like I don't care. But the truth is, like I do care a lot, and I took I
You
take
wouldn't
every
do this.
precaution. Yeah, exactly. I think people take me seriously sometimes, and they think that I'm like a fuck off. Like I don't, I just do what I want. I'll purposely downplay it because I like the balance of life. But I'm definitely on point, especially with For me, it's not just over the counter. I'll take prescription meds. Like if my blood pressure is high, prescription.
Right,
If
right.
so any that's one thing that is skewed. My blood pressure was obviously was a little bit higher than most people, but that's not bloods, but still that's one thing that did elevate. But then I literally took blood pressure meds and it's back to normal. So
Right.
any issue I would have, I would nip it in the bud right then and there. So you can't be afraid to do that if you want to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to take trend, but you're scared to take a blood pressure medication because you think it's
Right.
going to stop your gains or something.
Right.
So
I like to refer back to like what you were saying that like I like to let people like make assumptions of me. You got to know
exactly.
me to know. You got to know me to know like the real me. So because it's nice though too, because then when like somebody who does know me is in a conversation with somebody who only knows me from social media.
Exactly.
The person with social media is like, "Oh, Brady, this goofy fucking fuck off," like, and then the other person's like, literally, he's the most spiritual, like
Yeah, yeah,
obsessed, like give a fuck person in the world.
yeah.
like,
Well, because
like,
I feel like everybody doesn't have to know the whole you, right?
okay, no, man. Yeah, exactly. I
Even,
don't want them to. I don't want them to. I want you. I want there to be a. What's the word I'm looking for? Without the words I'm finding make it sound too conceited. But I want it to be like a pleasure. Like I want it to be like when you get a certain side of me, you're like, oh my god, you are so
100%,
much different than I thought. Like that, it makes somebody feel closer to you. You know
100%.
what I mean? So like, and I feel like not everybody deserves that side too. Not everybody deserves to know. Like,
They don't. Yeah.
you know
Well,
what I mean?
even earlier, you're like you go crazy post show, right? I know what you mean. I know you're still a professional. You still conduct yourself as a professional,
Right?
but crazy for you is different for
Yeah.
crazy for somebody else, right? Where somebody else will
Right.
read that and be like, "Oh, he doesn't give a fuck. He just fucks off." For me, we understand what you mean. Like you'll have some fun within reason. You're not,
Right.
because
Yeah.
we've never seen you fat, right? So it's like, so
Oh no,
Nate,
no, no. We've seen me.
Whoa.
We've seen me fat. No, we've we've
Hey,
seen
what's
me
going
fat.
on?
Never on
yeah.
stage though. You ain't never see me fat on stage.
No, never fat on stage. Yo, Nate, look at Nate's face. I don't even recognize you, bro.
What's up,
What?
man?
Yeah, I'm peeled down.
I see it, bro. I see it. Well, because we like a week or 2 weeks. When is it? It's Cal.
It's next Saturday for the cow.
Damn that.
Saturday.
Well, time fly. I was thinking about doing the Cal actually early in the year, but time flies like that, bro. It's already fucking. That's crazy, bro. The Cal is
Yeah,
coming up next week.
yeah, it's nuts.
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
so we
I
had a
feel like,
couple low days. I think almost like 5 low days, and then he threw
yeah,
some carbs back in the day.
yeah. This is like the hardest I've seen you coming into the show because I feel like usually you'll hold some water like until you dry out, right?
Yeah. I feel like I have like a little bit of water still. I mean, he just upped the Arimidex, and then we upped the mass a little bit. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we'll dry out with that more.
I think I just saw you posted a picture or Compton posted somebody posted a picture I saw That should look pretty.
Yeah, that was on my story the other day.
Let me see if I can find it.
I haven't posted anything lately.
Did you do anything? This your first year working with Compton?
Yeah.
First prep. Is there anything about this prep that was a lot different than other preps, or just more of the same, give or take?
I think I would say I think he knows when to throw in like more carbs better than I did, because previously I like the last 2 cows I coached myself.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes I go too far. Like even when he put in the carbs today, I'm like, I don't want no carbs. Like I want to be shredded. Yeah.
That's honestly what good coaching is. It's really, we all know to eat chicken breast and fish. Right? We all know to do cardio. I think it's more so the timing of when and how much you do these things, right? That you want like a objective point of view, pretty much. I think that's what makes a good coach.
Yeah, I haven't posted too many pictures because I'm like super hairy. I haven't. My girl been tripping, so I'm like, I don't got nobody to shave me.
Bro, listen, that is real life shit. Listen, we don't talk about stuff like this as bodybuilders enough. You go through it with your girl at the end of prep. You ain't getting pinned no more. You ain't getting shaved no more, bro.
Bro, so there was one prep that my girl was making all my meals, right? Cooking all my meals. Boom, boom, boom. Fresh.
I don't know. That's a mistake right away. Don't ever let nobody cook for you, because then if some shit happens at the end of prep, now you're stuck in that way.
That's exactly what happened. So here's the thing: is it convenient? Yes, but you know what's not convenient? If you only do it when we're on good terms and we have an argument, do it. Because if I'm cooking for myself the whole time, I'm already in that routine. I'm good. But if this whole time I wasn't given that time and now I gotta make up for that time out of nowhere, that fucks me up. So since then, nobody's cooking my food. It's only me that's cooking my food. Yeah, because I cook. Because the consistency.
Fuck you up.
DT on the whole, he said, you hear that?
Walk around.
No, because it's the consistency. And
did you see his eyes after that? Though he went like this to make sure.
Yeah, I had to look.
Well, but also not for nothing. I don't want to be a dick because I'm so particular. When it comes to that point. Every meal means a lot to you. So I want the tilapia crusted, the perfect burnt. So if it's like a little, I'll be like, you know what? Let me just throw it back on and cook it some more. So now I'm still doing it anyways. You know what I'm saying? So
well, like you said, then you end up feeling bad. Like yeah. I'll never forget. There was a trigger that my ex had, and I would look at her and I would say, "Is this 3 cranks of salt?" And she would go, "Yes, it's 3 fucking cranks of salt." I'm like,
gotta be sure, man. It tastes too good. It tastes too good, man. Yeah. Well, when somebody else cooks, though, it always tastes better. So that it makes you, it makes you suspicious. You're like, Hey, what seasoning? What seasoning?
Did you use different seasoning?
Did you use the damn Tony Satches? I told you don't use that Tony Satches, man.
Did you weigh this ketchup? This ketchup better be 35 grams to the letter.
Hey, why does it look like 9 ounces? I said 7. No, it's just. Hold on, but I gotta weigh it again. It looks like 10 ounces. I'm sorry, it looks too much.
Yeah, my girl's Hispanic, so she likes, they like to
use an
oil
adobo
on the rice. They like to fry the rice like a little bit. They cook. I'm like, I can't eat the rice with oil in it. Oh, it's only olive oil. I'm like, I can't eat the rice with oil.
Only a little bit.
Get all mad. I'm like,
I would act like if I was Nam, I would act like I didn't see it. I'm like, yo, you ain't putting no oil. I'm trying to get that good rice, man. I get that adobo on it and everything, bro. Sazon on that shit, Nah, but yeah, everything has to be consistent. I gotta be in the trenches, and at the time,
it feels better too. It feels better. There's a pride that comes with it.
100%.
I know that sounds goofy. It's just making your meals, but
one thing I definitely had to get better at, and I think I'm better at it now. I'm single now. I date and stuff, but it's different. If you're not living with somebody, it's different. But I think I'm getting better at not letting my mood and fatigue, I guess, but what's the good tiredness, fucking shittiness, like trickle onto her. And there's gonna be some. I don't like to pretend, but some situations in life you're gonna have to pretend. You know, because I'm like, I don't want to be fake, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta fake it, bro. So now I'll be like, hey, you know, how you doing? I don't want to do that shit because I want
You
to
gotta
go
show
fucking
up. You
eat.
gotta show up for your girl though. Like, and that's one thing. As I've gotten older, I used to be a dick, and like as I've gotten older, I've really come to that same place of like, man, shut up. You know what I mean? Like I'm like you
Nobody's
gotta
forcing you
show
to
it.
do it.
Right, you got to show up for your girl no matter what the fucking case is, and I promise you, it's going to matter a lot more to her too when you do show up when she doesn't expect you to. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it ain't. You know what I mean? Like, if you really can't do that, then let her know you need to take that step away for a couple weeks or something and like handle business.
You
You know what
might.
I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because some people really can't. Some people truly can't handle gear, and I used to be one of them, but now I'm a lot different.
This is true.
I'm
Nate got
still a dick,
kids,
but
so and Nate got a whole family, so we can't
you
complain.
really
You know
got to
what
do
I'm saying?
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell. And that's the thing. You watch people who do this who have kids. They don't treat their kids different. So why do we let the young men treat their women different? You know what I mean? Like I hold, like Anton's, like
Which
he
Anton?
said, the one who just got
Oh,
seven. I
young
was
one,
having
young.
I was having a conversation with him because him and his girl are like they're young, they're in love. And I just said, hey, man, listen, if there's any advice you take from me, it's not bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Don't ever take bodybuilding advice from me. I'm not that good. I'm not that good at bodybuilding. I ain't that good at relationships either. But one thing I can tell you is, don't ever change how you treat somebody because you're in prep. Just if this is a
Yeah.
difficult sport, love that girl and show her love. And I told him, take Sunday and give love to your woman on Sunday.
Mhm.
Give back to her. Sunday is about her. And then I saw him on a story posting her doing all these things. And I'm like, that's what
Good.
I like to. We got to lead these young men to do that stuff. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. He heard me and he said, yeah, you're right. You know, you're right. And he went there and they had a good day.
How old is he?
He's what, 20? He's young.
Boy, he's a child. Boy, he's literally like because he turned pro at what, like 19?
Yeah.
What the
Bro, and
fuck,
that's why I
bro?
told him, I said, listen, man, if you can truly take this in and learn this stuff now, oh, you're gonna be so far ahead. You
Dude,
know what I
at 20,
mean?
you shouldn't even have a girl like that serious.
I mean,
Well,
I don't know. I've always been in relationships myself, so I kind of get it. You know.
okay.
Did you
Well,
just
you should only have a girl if she's like his girl, like if she's all in for you, which is hard to find at
Hmm.
20. Like for me, I probably shouldn't have been in a relationship till like 26, 27 because I didn't have the maturity to even choose the right girl to fit my lifestyle, let alone have the maturity to keep a good girl, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's more what Nate means, but he happens to actually have a really good girl, you know. But that's bro, how many 19-year-olds can find a good girl? Like,
That's the absolute truth. And that's why I extended that
don't
advice
lose her.
to him because I see him as like a little me, like
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like, and he's
yeah,
such a good kid. He has such a big heart, and like I don't know. There's certain people that like you see, like I wouldn't do that for anybody. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's certain people that you see in this industry that like they might be 30 years old, damn near, and I wouldn't give them that advice because they're not that kind of person.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Versus like him, I'm like, this is a good kid, and I want to help lead
Humble.
him any way I can, and you
He's
know what I
doing
mean? Like
he's doing really well for himself too.
he is, man. He's gonna have a beautiful career, and I really think he's gonna. And I mean, you saw him on stage, dude.
Phenomenal.
When he adds tissue,
Come on, Anton.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God, yes, yes,
I
yeah.
mean, unfortunate thing, you have like grown men talking shit to a kid that's living his dream. You know, it's like, what do you expect him to look like? This is as good as it literally gets at that age. You
He's
know,
20 years. He can't even drink fucking alcohol.
That's what I'm saying. Like
shit in Russia, he
tied up right
from
then.
Russia.
I'm like, that's rough.
What's that? What's that, Nate?
Being tied up in a relationship at that age, I feel it's hard to build yourself and create what you need to create, like even career wise, with the woman. Like I feel like they always going to hold you back a little bit because they're going to need time, and you don't have that time right then, and that's your time where you got to grind.
I agree to a certain extent. I
Me
think
too. I feel like it depends. I feel like you.
It can go either way. They could either help you build an empire or they're going to bring you down. Either way,
I think it comes down to the type of girl, like Beatty said earlier. Because especially like in Anton's case, the girl he has is a very, very good woman and is going to, make sure that she's trying to elevate him. You know what I mean? And I think too, there's something to be said, even if it weren't to work. I think for like anybody who's younger in a relationship and in this sport, I think there's something to be said about just that learning factor and learning how to be a good man and learning how to treat a woman a certain way and give her that time. You know what I mean? Because then what happens when you're 30, you built this empire, but you now are so glued to that empire that you won't give that part of you to somebody. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's not everybody's case, but it could be a case. For me, it's like, I guess I just always believed in love over all other things. So for me, I was always like,
you've been divorced before? You've been married?
Nate been married and divorced, son. That's right.
I
know how it goes. Like
me too.
It's tough.
Oh, you too, DC?
Yeah. I actually agree with Nate, to be honest with you. Like, and the reason why is because I think when you're young, you don't know even who you are.
You have no idea who you are.
So in order to grow as a man and figure out who you are, you need that alone time. You need that time to go through shit and develop that way. Because if I would have met my wife now when I was young, she would have fucking left me.
Okay, but the caveat is this: both of you got that right? Because what's gonna happen? Like, okay, what Brady said, it's still a learning lesson. So you guys only know this because you tried and failed. Correct. If you never tried and failed, you still wouldn't know the right woman, right? So let's say you just never got with anybody, and you're 28. You got your life together. You got everything together. Now I'm ready. The truth is, you still won't be ready. You know why? Because you got yourself together, but you don't know how to be with somebody still. Yeah, so now you still have to go through the process of getting with a bad girl and realize this is not what I want, right? So what Brady is saying is that you still have to go through that anyways, sooner than later. Maybe there's pros in not wasting time and getting to where you need to be as a man faster. There might be, but I think it's impossible to learn without going through it, because he could tell Antoine that all he wants, but Antoine still has to go through life and learn, and a woman can change like this. She could be the perfect woman. I've seen it happen to close friends, perfect woman. And then she, end up not working out and back to square one. I thought she was perfect, So it's something you can't avoid. Me, Nate, and DC, we know this because we've been through it. But if we didn't go through it, how would we ever learn what a good woman was, right? It's unfortunately you have to feel the pain. So Nate is right. 9 times out of 10, you got to be really wary, and it's probably not going to fucking work. Like, let's be real. Like we can't say and act like couples stay together. Like I'm not talking about Anton. I don't mean to say Anton. Just in general, we're not going to act like couples actually stay together from fucking 20. Like, it's just not real. It's not.
I mean, that's cool if it does. That's a blessing for sure.
Right.
But it usually. But if at nothing else, you learn who you are as a man, and you learn how you fit with a woman, and you learn what you don't want. Okay, this woman didn't support me. It was all about her. I can't date somebody like that again. So now you won't. Right. So I mean, unfortunately, you might have to.
And I think it does come down to, the kind of person you are too. Whereas my whole life, I've been through so much shit, relationship wise and life wise, and I still believe in soulmates. I still believe in, that kind of deep love, like that hopeless romantic kind of aspect. And I think if you're never gonna be able to take that out of somebody, I think all you can do is help focus them on on the things like Nate was saying on business and on building yourself and building your empire for yourself, and encourage them to be individualized, but also make sure that, you know, we're guiding them as men to love the women that are in their lives during that process a certain way. You know what I mean? And giving them the understanding too that, hey, it might not be this woman, but this is how you should treat any woman that comes into your life. You know what I mean? And
So
like with somebody like him, like Anton, who's just such a pure hearted, like loving, outwardly like expressive kid. You know what I mean? Like for him, like telling him that, you know, to not do it because of like it
no,
wouldn't even resonate with him because he'd be like, "What do you mean? Like, yeah, I'm in love." You know what I'm saying? And
it's
like,
it's impossible
and
not
I
to do it.
yeah, right.
Because we all done it, right? Like I said, Nate only knows this because he already went through it. So like
Right.
Nate is gonna give the best advice so that you don't. Let's say to his kids, he wants to give them the best advice so that they don't go through that. But unfortunately, we just gotta go through it anyways.
Sometimes you just gotta get burnt.
Bro.
You gotta learn the hard way.
It happened.
Or burn
Same way.
somebody. Or burn
Yeah.
somebody. You know, I've hurt a lot of women in my life. I've been hurt by a lot of women in my life. You know, and you know, I don't really regret. I feel bad, but I don't regret any of the times I've hurt anybody or been hurt because
You don't know
it's
better.
led me to
You don't know
it's led
better.
me to right. It's led me to where I am now and like into what I can step into next. You know.
Let me ask you guys a question. I'm
Y'all
gonna
want to talk
start
about
with.
some drugs or something?
What did you say?
Yeah,
How long have y'all
yeah.
been on this? How long have y'all been on this subject?
People
I mean, I guess
People like
since you
this kind
came
of
in, they do. But like,
Hey,
and also
people like
before
this
we
kind of
move
stuff.
on,
So started off. What went down? Like we talking about Anton.
Oh no,
yeah, I was
nothing
just saying,
happened.
We're
No,
just
nothing
talking about
happened.
women
I
in
was
prep,
giving
being with
Anton,
a woman in prep.
I was giving Anton advice, and I told him, I said, I'm not going to tell you nothing about bodybuilding. Fuck bodybuilding, and I just gave him life advice just because I don't know. I feel like leading for
He
us
got
where we're
bodybuilding
at,
under control.
leading these kids is so much deeper than like telling them how good they are in bodybuilding or like, you know what I mean? Like we got
Yeah.
to
So
teach these kids
what's
how
the
to love in
perfect
life.
woman for a bodybuilder?
It's everybody's different. There ain't no perfect woman for nobody. For everybody's different.
I mean, I think the perfect woman for a bodybuilder is the same thing as a perfect woman for anybody, which is a woman who supports you 100% at all times and follows your lead straight
Gotta
up.
be a ride
I
or die.
mean, yeah, I mean, and brings you peace. Like we don't want like I mean, there might be some level of drama, but you want a woman that brings you peace, you know. And that they okay. Here's my question. I want to ask all you this question. Let's start with Wyatt. Do you think men get unconditional love,
No.
which means love with no condition at all? Like
No.
it doesn't matter how much, whether you lose your job or your dick stops working or anything happens, whatever the condition could be. You know, do you think men, besides your mom, when you're under 18, right? Yeah, I don't even know if my mom loves me unconditionally
Shit,
as an adult.
no.
As a kid, yes.
Mom's love is unconditional no matter what. But
I know.
no, I don't
I'm just
believe
playing,
we
man.
do. I feel like, but I don't. It doesn't. That's okay though because it's conditional. We have different roles, and I believe that like 100%. Like there's roles to it.
I mean, I don't think necessarily. I actually agree with you. I don't think we do, but I don't think it's a bad thing for the fact that.
It pressures a privilege.
Yeah, but it's just life. Like I wouldn't want my daughter to necessarily, or her boyfriend goes to jail. I don't care. I love him. I'm like, yo, he's doing 10 years. You
No,
better
yeah,
move the fuck
exactly.
on.
Yeah.
There got to be some conditions, and let's be real. Not every man loves women unconditionally, neither. Like
No.
I think a lot of men do. Like you don't have to get anything out of the woman. Well, maybe a little something, but generally, you don't really need anything from her. You just enjoy her. Like you just love her for who she is. That's it. You don't care about how much. Well, I guess you care. I mean, how she looks. She gotta keep the the weight under control. You're getting 300 pounds.
That would be the question.
well, shit. Do women get unconditional love from men?
I mean,
I don't. I
If
mean,
I believe it's how it starts off, like how the relationship starts off, probably.
but Brady's died. because forever I always said men don't get unconditionally loved, and this one girl was like, yeah, but women don't either. I was like, bullshit, what do you mean? And she was like, yeah, but what if I like get really fat? Would you feel the same? I was like, no, I would still love you the same. I wouldn't be attracted to you the same, but I would still love you the same. You know,
all right,
that's still love.
Let's break them macros down.
What's that?
I said, let's break them macros down real quick.
What you think, Nate? Okay, do you think men or women get unconditional love?
I think women get a higher percentage of unconditional love than men. I mean, there's certain expectations that women have of men, and then like if we don't meet those, potentially they're going to leave.
Yeah.
Especially with the minimum of like courting a woman. Like if you stop doing that, she's going to be off with somebody else.
I think it's a percentage game, like Nate said. I don't know if anybody gets 100% unconditional love, but I think you can get close.
Yeah, I feel like with my kid's mom, like I kind of have that. But I mean, because that's their mom, like I don't want nothing. I want them to have their mom in a good spot, their whole life. So even though that's my ex-wife, but we don't have to be together. But I still, yeah, like I'll still help her out if I need to.
Yeah. Shit, I guess it's hard for anybody to get that unconditional love, but I think it's possible. Like I said, maybe 90. I think maybe the highest you go 90. If you at 90, you good. You good.
Well, I'm guessing everybody here has had a first love. Baby, have you ever had a first love? Like a true love, not like a true like.
I'm a lover boy, bro. I the way I am, I downplay it. I downplay everything, but I'm definitely a lover boy, man. Like
Well, if you think about that very first true love, like the real one, not like the first one that was puppy love, but like a real one, you'll probably always love that person.
I can't say that on air, but I can see.
We all know it's true, bro. I think every guy has that one girl. I think every guy thinks the same thing. We might not say it, but I think.
Let's say this: if I had unlimited resources, I would probably pay her rent or buy her house. Literally, like right now, I would still.
I mean, and you can love that person and not ever want to be with them.
Not sexually,
or just even date them ever again. You know what I mean? You might never want that relationship again, but you still got so much love that, like you said, you would do. Just if you could buy him a house or something, just because you almost would.
Like it's almost like family, because this person was such a big part of your life, but there's no romantic feelings whatsoever at all.
Yeah. Yep.
But
yep.
I mean, if she has something nice on, I don't know, maybe, but for the there's no romantic feelings. It's just like family, like.
What if she got fat?
Nah.
It's not that bad.
When I tell you, I was literally on
you
my
got 3 drinks. You got 3 drinks and you already. She walked in. She got dressed, really holding her curves, but she did get fat. Like she's 100 pounds plus bigger than the last time you seen her.
Nah, I mean, for that is that, bro. She's seen me at my worst, bro. She's. I was on my deathbed, bro. She wiped my ass, bro. I couldn't move, and she wiped my ass.
I actually did that too. I felt bad.
That's deep, bro. That's deep.
Literally, bro. My ex had to pour out my shit bucket every day. Bro, I was in a wheelchair. I had a shit bucket. She had to dump my shit bucket out every day.
That's real though, bro. Listen, life is real.
It's type, yeah.
Life it's easy to love a man when he's winning. It's really easy to love a man when he's winning. When he's getting first call out. That's when he's winning. But when shit hits the fan and you don't get fat.
When we get fat, nobody likes us anymore.
No, they like you more. They like you more when you're fat.
Shit.
That's what they say. Hold up, no, that's what they say. But I'll tell you right now, when you're peeled, bro, you get done in the gym, you got veins flying through your abs. You pull the shorts down a little bit, let the cum gutters hang out, and take a picture and send it to them, and ask them which one they like more. You know what the fucking answer is.
They be like, "Oh, you're too hard." They want a little fluffy.
like I feel like whoever I'm with or dating, they say that they don't care or they prefer off season, but generally attention from women is definitely more in prep. Like just general attention from women, I think it's more in prep for sure. Yeah. So I don't know. Huh? What was that?
You want to come on this goddamn podcast, bro?
You want to talk shit? Get over here.
You want to come on here and fucking explain it? Come on.
Do you? I want her opinion.
I'm listening to everyone. All right, over here, Jim.
Hey, tell her to say Instagram. She can't talk shit on Instagram. She got to come face to face.
Yeah. Tell her to come here. I want to hear her opinion on it.
She wants
what she got
to chime in
about what?
Do men get unconditional love? No. Listen. Do men
both
get unconditional love?
Do men? Oh, there you go.
That's why she got a gun to him. That's why he ain't
on his back. I'll say this because she's here. Listen, a couple of years ago, I was broke. Dude, I had no money. I had no cars. I couldn't find a job. I was done. And like, I know women and nowadays, if you bring that, she was paying our rent, which was $3,000. She was paying everything. Shit. You know what she said? No problem. Take your time. Find yourself something. Everything's going to work out. I got you.
That's real.
She's a real ass woman.
So
that's real,
before that, she moved down here from Orlando, and I was making $60,000 a year. I was paying for everything. I was going in debt. I was just paying. She couldn't find a job. It was the same thing. So we're a team. 99% of people
are not
don't have that because a man is supposed to provide. A man is supposed to be strong. Listen, there's nights my fucking ass is crying because I couldn't find like I was nervous. Like it's been months, and I was in prep at that time, and she said, "Still do the show."
Damn.
So my answer would be yes.
The one though.
I mean, there's a reason I wanted Stephanie to answer that question.
Yeah. That's real.
Because I knew all that.
People don't talk about that, man. Like, but people don't talk about shit like that. Like, there's literally there was days, bro. There's days I've sat on the toilet and cried. You know, same situation where shit is not going well, and your woman is there with you, and in your head you're like, yo, I'm supposed to be the rock. I'm not supposed to be sitting here. You know, you feel like shit. You know, if you feel like shit, but you just can't stay in that position is all. You know, and a good woman doesn't even put a bunch of pressure on you. Right, but you want to do it more because she's not. You're like, nah, she's sticking with me through this shit. You know, I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure something out.
Hey, listen,
I was gonna say, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that like, throughout that time, putting out applications on Indeed for anything at that point. You know, when you gotta like suck up your pride, you're like, I don't care what I get, just someone hire me. You know, like I got a job at UFit, and I was like, I'll take this, like. Whatever, I'll just give me something. I told her, I was like, yo, you want me to go bounce? Do you want me to go like fast cash? Like I'll sell gear. Like I was like trying to figure it out, you know, when you're like, you got nothing left. OnlyFans, all that. Yeah. Man, I'll show my asshole if I got to, man. It ain't pretty. I got hemorrhoids, but we'll put it all there if we got to.
You got to survive at that point, you know. But I mean, I think that's dope. I think, unfortunately, a lot of people don't get to find that. So a lot of people kind of give up on it and be like, I don't think that exists. But it's out there. You just got to wait it out a little longer. You can't just take the first thing that you think is cute. You know, you got to really see. Somebody has to see you at your worst, you know, because like I said, for men and women, when you're winning, it's easy. Everybody could be with you. But what same for a woman. What if she's going through a hard time? She's breaking out. She gained some weight. All those guys, they don't want her at that moment, you know. But when she's on point, everybody wants her. So I think both sides. I guess both sides have to be really, really careful of that because if you only want somebody when they're winning, that's not how life goes. Shit happens quick, you know. Quick.
I think for men, I mean, there's two sides of it. I think men are traditionally undervalued by the people around them, um, generally. But that said, though, I think men, we put so much pressure on ourselves that we
Good
almost
men, at
block
least.
ourselves. Yeah. We block ourselves from feeling the unconditional love that we do receive because we don't feel that we deserve it because we're always trying to be better and provide and do more. And we put so much of that own pressure on ourselves to be a certain level of man. And we're always trying to be better, especially like people like us who are all competitive and like, you know what I mean? We're always trying to be better. So I think what happens is a lot of us put so much pressure on our heads that we don't see the unconditional love that we really do have around us. And then it comes out as, we don't have it. When really, reality, man, like a lot of people just gotta open their eyes and speak too and just say, like, I feel this pressure. You know what I mean? Like, say it to the person. And, like, I don't know, give them the chance to actually, like, show you that they are there for you, that they're not, you know what I mean? Because half the time people don't leave because you feel the pressure because they didn't have unconditional love when you're down. They leave because you didn't communicate. You know what I mean? Because you try to hold it in, you try to be prideful, you try to level up, you felt bad and insecure about it, you didn't want to let it out, and it came off as stubborn and egotistical, and they're just tired of dealing with you and leave. That's not.
That's hard though, it's kind of it's hard for us to do that, bro. To
It's
to
very
to
hard.
be to be vulnerable enough to be like, this is what I'm going through. Even if like my ex would ask, and I'd be like, no, nothing, I'm fine, and then go go cry in the bathroom, you know.
It takes courage, bro. It takes courage. I mean, it takes. There's a lot of good like there's a lot of things that I think we put in front of ourselves as roadblocks that if we simply exercised more courage and sucking up our pride and speaking our feelings, that like pretty soon it just becomes pretty natural to where like you don't really think about it. You know what I mean? Like we should be able to allow, like even if like we should be allowed to talk about things that we need, or like let's say the person you are with isn't creating peace. Like we should be allowed to speak on that and it not turn into some big fight or like saying that you don't want to be with the person. You know what I mean? Like we as men should be allowed to be like, hey, there's something off here. I need more peace in the home. And you're not providing that. That doesn't mean I want to leave. I'm just saying that I need that. Can you please find a way to provide that? You know what I mean? And I feel like because of everything I just said, we bottle so much up that we don't ask for the unconditional love that we're begging for. You know what I mean? When really it really is right there most of the time, and we just let it flow by because we got too much pride and we don't want to show insecurity or show this or that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like I
man.
do, and I've seen it, and on the other side where a lot of men are just disregarded in their families. Like I definitely see it on that side. But then when you really break it down and you really look at it, you're like, but there is a matriarch in that family. You know what I mean? That loves everybody in that family unconditionally, including that person. But they won't allow that they're getting their own way to the point where they leave. And they because they have to for their own mental well being.
Do y'all think bodybuilding makes all that worse? Like you go into prep and you shut off, and you communicate less and less and less
Oh yeah.
until I think somebody like Nate. I think Nate is old enough that he has the maturity that he doesn't seem wavered by prep at all. He seems like the same Nate regardless.
Yeah, just always chill.
Slightly.
Unbothered. He seems
Yeah.
unbothered by it.
I think the
Because
kids. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I could imagine having because just having dogs in prep prep is work. So I can imagine having kids in prep. I'm like, damn, that's real work.
Yeah, yeah. I think they know when I'm in prep though. Like I feel like they they know. But like on top of the kids, like my kids, like I have baseball kids because I coach pony baseball, and like we got the all-star team about to go on, and I got a tournament that weekend of the cow. So it's like I'm out here in the community doing stuff on top of that. So
Right.
I think keeping busy helps me out more. So I don't get too edgy,
Facts.
you know. But yeah, but I got to be doing something competitive out there, like with some kids and my boys running
Facts.
around.
How's DT in prep? I want to know that. But
Um,
Go ahead and be honest.
let's see. It just
1 through 10.
it's like a slow downward slope of like loss of personality and increased irritability. Like you have your good days and bad days. It's more worse in the gym because we train together and he gets very angry at the gym when he doesn't get a set, doesn't get this, he'll punch the machine. And I don't put up with that. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm like, I'm gonna go finish my set. But that's probably like the worst, I think that
Yeah.
and that's really it's very short term,
Yeah.
It's just like anybody. I think they lose their personality closer to the show. I think I do myself.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of sucks. You don't have that like fun banter and all that because the person's just like trying to stay alive.
Oh,
You know?
but you compete as well, right? So
Yeah.
does that make it easier or harder?
I think I understand it.
Understand, yeah.
And like we don't prep at the same time. So we're not doing shows at the
Right.
same time, which is helpful. But I definitely understand, like, even when he gets irritable or angry or short, whatever, tempered about something stupid, I know that, like, oh, yeah, I've dropped my cream of rice too, and I get fucking mad, like, because I'm 2 weeks
Yeah,
out and you're hungry,
yeah.
So,
See, so I've only dated one girl that was actively competing, and in my head, I thought because I understand it, it would make it easier. But I didn't like that shit at all. I wasn't feeling that shit.
I won't date a competitor ever again.
Bro,
The one
so
thing.
so in my head, I'm thinking, yo, why are you acting like this? But I know why you're acting like this because that's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
So
The one-
that's not fair.
The one thing that's
but
really easy about dating someone or being with someone that does compete is they understand what it feels like to go through it, right?
They also know it's not going to last forever.
Right. So this is where it kind of becomes really messed up. Like you become the shell of who you are,
Mhm.
and it sucks. You're just like, and you don't even want to be that person. And this is just me. For me, I'm talking about me personally.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person, and I really try. Like every day I wake up, I'm like, dude, like chill out. Like it's just little shit, and I'm already. I've worked on myself a lot, but I always have that like irritability aspect. I'm like I don't want to deal with stupid shit. So everything heightens, right? But when she's in prep, I know that I got to be there to cook her shit. Like if she slips up, she doesn't have this ready, I can cook it. So having each other's back throughout that time, it is like a team. So you know that person, like today I cooked her chicken because she was busy doing stuff, and I knew she needed chicken. And she's done that. She's picked up the stones for me too. So it's just having that aspect to help each other back and forth, knowing that, 10 weeks from now, we're good to go. It's game day. And whatever she needs that day, I'll be there to carry everything like she always does for me.
Right, yeah.
So
So like what I've noticed is that like what I just said, even though I understood it, I didn't like it. But that being said, because I understood it, I didn't take it personal, right?
Right.
Where if I didn't compete, let's say her show, the girl I was in right at the time, her show day, she treated me with a really fucking bad show day just because she was so out of it, right? And she was nervous. But I was upset that day. But I got over it, and I didn't really bring it up. I brought it up as a joke, like, yeah, the way you was acting, whatever. Oh, I'm so sorry, whatever. Boom, cool. If I didn't compete, honestly, I probably would have never talked to her again. I'd be like, I'm not gonna let somebody, act like that told me. Fuck that, And I know myself, right? If I didn't understand it, there's no way I'm gonna put up with it. I'm like, hell no, fuck that, So that alone, not taking it personally, is already a flip side.
I do have to say this, and I'm saying this in front of her because she's very different. Women are sensitive as fuck. They take shit so wrong. Why aren't you saying I fucking hate I just want to lay one of those because it's like I'm not a sensitive person. So stop being so sensitive. That's why we work well together. We communicate. Hey, this is my problem. This is it. Figure it out. I'm telling you what it is. I don't have to come to her and be like, hey, babe, so I don't like how you're kind of doing. Not to mean that I try to be mean to you, but it's like, fuck, man.
We're very
Yeah,
straight
what you
up.
mean.
Figure out your shit, get it done.
Sometimes a little too
Right.
straight.
Yeah. But
Sometimes.
and I think what happens is for bodybuilding.
Now, is that just now, or has that always been like that, or y'all had to work on that?
I feel like we had to work on it a little bit in the
In the beginning.
because we were so direct in our communication that then we would be like, oh, like, was it like,
Yeah.
and we would joke around so much. So then it was just like, well, are we kidding? Are we not kidding? Like, are we?
We had to use like safe words at a certain point. We're like, yo, like pineapple for real. I want to talk to like I gotta say something.
Yeah.
But that's what I've noticed in bodybuilding, and I don't know if you guys have experienced that, like being with a woman just so sensitive, and you're in prep, and then you have to juggle her altogether, and then try to do your prep and be the best version of yourself. So I think that's hard as a competitor too.
Shit, in prep, I don't know how y'all are, but I'm a very empathetic person normally. In prep, when I tell you I have zero empathy, I don't have any feelings at all.
Yeah,
Like to the point that it's hard for me to understand human feelings, right? So like you said, hey, how come this? How come I want you to touch me more? And also then they'll be like, oh, that's cute. Okay, of course, no problem. But at that moment, I don't even it's like I don't understand what that means. I'm like autistic in prep.
Right.
What does human interaction mean? I don't want to touch you. Don't touch me, right? Like I just like it's weird. Don't even stare at me for too long. Look over there.
No, that's the truth. No, listen.
Oh.
If I feel somebody staring at me, even if it's an admiration, like when I'm in prep, it's the only time I'm like, stop. Like, what do you want?
Well,
You know, the worst thing is like say the person you're dating says, "Damn, you're looking good today." You be like, "You're fucking lying." Like, I know you're supposed to say that,
bro. It gets so bad for me, but my dog was looking at me while I'm eating, and I'm watching the TV, and it's burning a hole in my face. I'm like, "Yo, Kane, go to bed," and he would lay down, and get back up. I'm like, so I took his bed to the room. Bro, I took his bed to the room. I'm like, I'm sitting there. I can't focus on my meal because he's staring at me. I'm like, bro, it was just irritating me. I'm like, this is crazy. My dog can't even stare at me. Like that sounds insane. But at that moment, I'm so
I'm
pissed.
laughing
I'm like,
so hard because, bro, it's the truth. My dog does the same shit, and I really do. Because it's just me and her. This whole Pittsburgh prep, it's just been me and her. So like, it's the same thing, bro. I can feel it looking at me. I'm like, go lay down. Get away from me. Why am I mad at my dog for looking at me?
The worst thing is somebody else chewing. Like, I swear, he does not chew loud in off season. When I'm in prep, he's like gobbling stuff down. I'm like, can you shut the fuck up for a minute?
these are all straight.
It's so bad,
bro.
I swear, shit. Even with my dog chewing loud or my dog snoring, just every little thing, every little thing get amplified. And don't shit. If I get started on the gym, like little pet peeves in the gym, or how many sets you got left? Or I'm super setting this cable with that cable. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in on this one. Like, you want to take over the whole gym? Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Like when we train, because we, like she said, we train together, and I get mad. Like, I don't know about you guys. I have a hard time conceptualizing when I start losing my strength in prep. It just, for me, it drives me nuts. Even though that I know it's coming, it still is like, what the fuck? Like, so that's when I start getting mad. And then you have people at Redcon, these little TikTok fuckers. They're just like, you're like, dude, you're on your phone. And I don't like to be an asshole, but like I'm just waiting there, and I'm literally staring into their soul, like, should I go ask them? Should I not? And then you start working this thing up in your own fucking head. You're like, fuck it. You're like, God damn it, man. How many more sets? And they didn't do anything wrong. And you're just like, I should have probably went to go ask them instead of working this thing in my.
You have?
Yeah.
Bro,
they're like,
two?
Yeah.
Bro, it's funny. I know the feeling. You're sitting there and it's festering. You're looking at it and they're joking around. They took their shirt off. They're doing jumping jacks and they're laughing at you. You don't know what they're laughing about. You're like,
Yo, stop laughing. Like, I
Because
don't.
you hate your life so much
This
right
shit's
now.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going through this fucking prep that no one's making you do, that you're choosing to do, and everyone else is having a great time, and you're just like,
Bro.
motherfucker, man. Like,
But mind you, I also go to zoo culture, bro.
right.
So you got a guy on a fucking on a dirt bike in the middle of the gym. They're shooting a music video. You got girls twerking over here, and I'm like, yo, can you stop twerking on the bench? I got to use the bench. Like, what the
Please
fuck are
wipe
we
that
doing?
bitch off or something, please.
Bro? So then it's all these factors, and I'm sitting there and it's festering, and I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. Like, they're young. I'm like, fuck it, yo, can you move it, bro? Dude, one time this dude thought they had like a mariachi band, and he was like, yo, we gonna hype you up, and then he started playing the music, and I'm just like, let me just do the bench, and hopefully they go away. I don't want to say it. I don't want to be that guy. You know, I'm like the one bodybuilder at the gym. I don't want to be the dick. So I'm like, okay, let me just He's in. But sometimes you sit there and it festers up. Like, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna flip out. You know. Unfortunately, like, there's phases, right? There's like the irritable phase, but you care about what people think, and you're like, I don't want to be the big bad guy. Then you get to a point where you stop caring what people think. Then you're like, I don't care. I'm gonna be that guy today, and that's when you just gotta have your hoodie on and, you know, keep to yourself, because at that point you don't really want to be that guy, you know. But
Like,
sometimes
I'll say this: when Justin did his hack squat, right?
yeah.
And I would have, like, at that moment, I was like, I thought about that again. I sat on that for a bit, Justin, and I was like playing with that in my head. And, you know, everyone was commenting and going back and forth, and I was like, you know what? Justin's right though. Like, imagine if you were in prep in that house. Like, you would have got the rep for sure. Slammed
just
that
to be
fucking
angry.
thing down and, like, went off, you know. But it's like that stuff right there. That's the stuff that when you're sane, when you have a sane mind, in a sense, like, you'll get mad, right? But in prep, yo, that's fucking two sheets to the wind. It's over. Like, the one dude might be gone, and you have to go bury the other one somewhere. Like, that's, you know, it's just little shit like that.
I was very upset.
Yeah.
It actually happened again. It actually happened again my last leg workout.
Wait, what happened?
So basically, you're training hard. You're not scared to fail, right? But so I have spotters, like, on the Cybex. The Cybex, that bitch bottoms out. Like,
Right.
And especially us bigger guys, like, that's a lot of flexibility that I may not have.
Yeah.
Something could go wrong. So I asked, and I am training at an athletic club, so put it that way. Anyways, I asked these two younger guys, should perfectly be able to, and I'm not going to stop, like, give up and them have to just yank it up, right? They're just having to add a couple extra pounds to get that last rep. Well, they didn't even try to grab.
They didn't even budge. It wasn't like they were like, oh, and then
If you fail trying, okay, you're just not strong enough. But
Well,
if you just leave me there,
that they're not doing anything, I'm like, fucking help me. They're like, I'm like, oh.
Dude, that's like imagine if you're benching. That's the same thing as benching. That's the same. Someone's just not spotting you on bench, and then they're just watching you. You have the fucking 4 or 5 on. You're like, what are you gonna do?
That literally happened to me. It was actually 4 or 5. The thing is, I think it's the way I phrased it. I said, let me get a lift. What I thought that meant to most people is lift and then watch me.
Well, see, all you said was let me get a lift.
You explained it.
What you didn't fucking see in the video was the whole 3 minutes before that, me telling them exactly how I want this spotted. Exactly.
Yeah,
I said, don't help me unless you got to. But if I start to slow down, and I always say, be close on my last rep. Like, I know when I'm going to fail. Like, everybody knows when they're going to fail. But I'm going to go for this. Be close. And then when I get to that point, I need you to put – I'm not a power lifter. Go ahead and push the motherfucker off of me. You ain't got to ease it. Go push it off of me.
Yeah, just throw it off.
And I'm talking about they didn't even attempt. And, like, when I went back – I apologized to the guy after I blew up on him. He's like – oh, I've just never lifted anything that heavy. I said, well, you weren't going to have to lift anything that heavy. You had to add pounds. That's it. Well,
it will be like 5 pounds. It's not much, right?
Yeah.
But I was at LA Fitness, right? So I'm benching, and at the time I was pretty strong, right? So I go up to 405. At the time, I could probably do like 4 or 5 reps. So you look around. That guy's pretty big. He look like he know what he's doing. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Can I get a lift? Yeah, cool, no problem. So 1, 2, 3, boom. Literally 1, 2, 3, lifts it, walks off. So I'm holding it like, hey, I guess he didn't hear me. I'm like, okay. At that point, it's LA Fitness, so everybody's staring already. I'm like, okay. So I did 1 rep and I racked it. So then I ended up calling somebody else, but I didn't say anything just because I said lift, and I didn't want. If I said, "Can you spot me?" and he did that, I would probably be upset because that's a setup, bro. Why would you leave somebody with 4 or 5?
Bro, he just set up a guillotine on your ass and walked off.
Yo, that's
he dies,
wild.
he dies, whatever.
I honestly wouldn't even know what to say. What I don't. This happened to me as well, and I was kind of upset until I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? He's completely right. So I'm at Gold's Venice. I probably had like 3 or 3 and a quarter, right? Hey, I see a guy look like he, pretty decent guy, pretty big guy, maybe like 40, 50 years old. I was like, hey, bro, yo, I'm about to bench. You might give me a spot? He said, excuse me? I said, I'm about to bench. You might give me a spot? He said, nah, I'm good. and I'm like,
and he was 3 weeks out.
So
That's
I'm like,
me when I'm 3. I get, bro, when somebody, that's the one thing that does make me mad. If you train in my gym every day and I'm like getting close to a show and you ask me to spot you, I want to fucking backhand you. So he may have been 3 weeks out, but like,
no. Time and place.
Here's what I do is like, say a young kid asks me to spot him on bench. How many reps you going for? If he says anything less than 3, I'm not spotting you.
That is exactly what I do too.
Fuck that.
100%. Because there's a bicep tear waiting to happen on a fucking spot.
100%.
With these dumb kids.
Bro, Joe was like 2 weeks out. He's full posing, naked posing. Somebody comes up to him mid pose, taps him, hey, you might spot me on the leg press. Joe was like, he didn't know I'm posting. What are you talking about? Further the leg press, and I'm literally mid pose, filming me going through transitions, and you're gonna just pull me off to spot you fucking in a G string like that's
He's
the
probably trying to go viral, bro.
Yeah. You probably have a fucking pro bodybuilder in the G string spotting him.
Yeah,
but dude was like, no, I'm good. Put his headphones on, and you get upset at first, like, what? Why would you talk to me like that? And you're like, well, that man don't got to spot me. Like, he don't.
No, and here's what I do too. Like, I will ask people to spot me if they have any rebuttal. All right, no problem, no problem. You're good. Especially on like a hack squat. If they're like, oh, I don't, and I'm like, all right, never mind. You can. I'm sorry I asked. I will respectfully say, I'm sorry I asked. No big deal. And I will go find somebody else because I know in my mind when I go down on my first rep, I don't know if these motherfuckers got me.
Simple as that. Yeah. I mean,
also, it's good to know your limits, right? Same way, if you're doing dumbbells, right? Let's say you got 150s. You mind passing me a dumbbell? How much? 150? Oh, I don't know if I can lift that. No problem.
Yeah.
Don't even try because if you're about to hurt, you're gonna hurt me.
Yeah, because you're just gonna piss me off if you fuck it up. Yeah.
That's why when I lift with Steph, I'm like, you go grab that 150. There's no fucking asking. Go grab that 150.
Well, you know her limitations.
No,
yeah.
Dude, she's been in some sketchy positions with me too, where I'm like, hey, if you got to bail out, just fucking bail out. We'll worry about this later.
Yeah.
You know?
But the funny thing is this: Simeon Panda used to go to one of the gyms. He goes to Zoo now, but he used to go to a different gym I was going to, and his wife spots him. Mind you, she's not like a bodybuilder. She's just like a regular girl, and she'll pick up the 150s, but she'll sumo squat it and pass it to him. I'm like, if she could do that, I feel like guys should be able to do that too. But don't do it if you don't feel comfortable.
Exactly. If they have any rebuttal at all, I'm talking about they mumble or breathe hard. Never mind, bro. It's good. Don't worry about it because you're gonna hurt me.
I've actually asked people.
Oh shit! Look at it. Look at his picture.
Hello.
Yeah. Did y'all see my new puppy?
Yeah.
The white one.
Yeah. But she's half husky, so I'm crate training her, and
Oh,
she
you're gonna have your
howling and
hands full.
shit.
Yeah, you're gonna
Well,
have your hands
You
full.
got 3 dogs now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
No, you got
but
4 dogs because you got husky in any of them. You got 4 dogs.
exactly. Like somebody warned me about that. I'm like, yo, I ain't never met a dog I can't handle. But I could take a dog off the streets and have him fucking doing sick commands in 2 seconds. You
I'm
know.
gonna ask you about this in 2 months. Listen, I had a pit bull husky once. Great
Oh
dog.
yeah.
Never again. Never, ever, ever again will I ever get a husky of any sorts.
I mean, and mind you, this is only half. She's like this big, and she's a menace, bro. She's a menace. And in my head, I'm like, I don't think she'll be that big because her paws are small. So I'm like, this not gonna be a big dog. But she's a menace. She'll howl the entire night. I fucking know my neighbors can hear it. There's no way they can't, you know. But nobody complained yet because I mean they I guess they know her. But it's bad. It's bad. So at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna leave her in there until she stops because I keep taking her out, she'll never stop. You know, so I'm like, I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna leave. Right now, she actually stopped. But what if she hears anything? She'll start doing it again, and it's the loudest thing you could imagine coming out of a 10-pound dog, bro. It's the loudest shit ever.
Have you tried giving her like any like kind of like anxiety buffer? Like, so my dog was crazy in the crate too for when she would howl and cry like that. And I gave her a Kong with peanut butter for like 6 months. And then eventually, once I took it away, like her anxiety was gone. So when I'm gone, she'll go to her crate and hang out all day in the crate. Like I
Oh
don't put her
yeah,
in there. She just that's her safe space now. I created that. I made it basically her safe space. And that's pretty much like because it's anxiety. She, you know what I mean. She's scared.
yeah. Well, so what I've been doing, I've been putting food in there, so she'll go in there. But once she finishes the food, she's over it. So actually, like you know how they have the little freeze things, the freeze
Yeah,
bone. I
yeah,
could tell if she's licking it and she can't get through it,
yep,
she'll just keep doing that. You know.
yep, yep.
Uh,
That's why I like that
I'm
peanut butter Kong because the peanut I would put way too much peanut butter though. Like I think
yeah.
back to that 6 months, I'm like, no wonder everyone told me my dog was fat. But
I'm
like
gonna try
I
that.
loaded that shit up. It worked great. Like she was pretty. Like honestly, after the first month, I would come home and she wouldn't actually have eaten any. She just would fall asleep. It became her safe space pretty quick, and she's
Okay,
young
okay.
too, so I think it would be easy.
I was gonna just try to wait it out because, but every dog is different. With Kane, anytime I wait it out, he'll within a couple of minutes he'll learn just stop, you know. But she's husky and she's a girl, so she is
And they're high
different.
anxiety. They're high anxiety dogs. They're high energy, high
Yeah.
anxiety. So that's Maya's not. She's a staffy. So
Okay.
staffies are a little bit higher energy, higher anxiety, like a little bit more personality than just like a pity or like a bully.
Yeah. Uh,
So with her, she was kind of similar to Eddie, who was my pit bull husky,
oh my
and
Pitbull
just
Husky
like
is crazy.
bro,
Pitbull Husky is crazy. Nah, you don't
it
want that.
was he was so pretty though, man. Like, and he was a great dog because they're so smart. Like,
Yeah.
you could teach them anything. It takes patience, but like once they get it, dude, they retain everything. They're so incredibly smart, too smart because they'll outsmart you like a
Yeah.
thousand times. They're escape
Well,
artists too.
when you have that excited dog, it seems like a bad thing, like a bad sentence. But the truth is that they're more trainable because they want a job because they have so much energy. So the job is the training. You give them tasks to do, they love it. They fucking doing sit down. They actually like it. You just have to train them. If you don't, it'll be a fucking nightmare. You know.
Yep.
So once I understood that, now Kane, I got him in a group of dogs, and everybody acting nervous. I'm like, he ain't gonna bother nobody. Just walk past. You don't worry about it. Make sure your dog is good because he's
I
good.
was
He's
gonna
not
say
going.
I'm worried about your dog. I'm not worried about my dog.
He's not going nowhere. Don't nowhere. Trust me. He's gonna stay right here. I'll cross the street, come back, make a lap. He's still down. He won't even flinch. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty good, man. All right, we didn't do no bodybuilding talk. Okay, we we we
You
gotta
know,
talk about
that,
Pittsburgh.
that's actually ironic
I
that you
mean,
say that
you know,
because I always say that all of my friends like from bodybuilding, I don't talk about bodybuilding to anybody.
we don't really we
I
don't.
don't. It's dog
I mean,
stuff.
the most we do is when a show actively happens, we'll be like, yo, how Nick lost that? Yo, that's about it. But we send random memes. We just talk about, you know, and I think that the way I look at podcasts is I don't want it to be a podcast. I'm just catching up with my friends, you know, to the point that I'll purposely not talk to you. I'll be like I'll start talking to Compton. I'll be like, yo, let's stop talking. Let's just get on the pod and just talk on camera, you know, because that's what it is to me, just hanging out with your boys. But all right, let's go to.
Hey, before we do anything, congrats, Brady.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he looked really good, man. He looked really good, and but his back, bro, his back. I would say him and Jose.
Don't make me want to like roll out.
They got the craziest backs in classic. We talking about width, thickness, detail, fucking condition. Look at the fucking condition. That's insane. That's insane.
How close were you to the weight?
I was 3 pounds under.
3
Oh wow, good. Yeah.
So we can. The issue in the quads can be fixed.
Nice. At least I was wondering because you did the open last year, and I'm like, man, it's got to be tough. How tall are you?
I'm just over 5'9", a little bit over 5'9".
So what's your weight?
Short.
What was the classic weight for that height?
212.
212. Damn.
Yeah.
But hold up. But when you went open, I remember you wasn't actually as heavy as you looked. You just looked heavy, right?
Like
So,
right?
I was 218 at Tampa. I was like 220, 226, I think, at Cal. And Cal was a good look. And then we came in at like 235 in Chicago, but I didn't like that look. I don't know how we got so much weight. Because I was just as lean like heading into it. I didn't like the look on stage. But I was just as lean as Cal. But like that's also kind of like why I left was because I knew it was all chemical warfare. And I literally in my head was like
Kratom boy.
Careful.
The junkie is back in town.
Oh man. The whole thing.
Don't get me started, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Martin takes those to the dome too.
Hey, listen.
Those are strong, bro. Those are strong, though.
Anyone that's out there that thinks I'm a junkie, good.
I've been a junkie. Right. Fuck right off. I ain't no junkie. I've been a damn junkie.
Wait, do you take kratom, Brady?
Yeah.
But
the OG uprising guy.
Yeah. You're right. Brady is the one that actually got me some products, right?
Yeah.
From here, I mean that one is fucking strong. That one is okay. But you said you have a past of addiction with actual drugs?
Yeah.
And you don't feel like it conflicts at all, like
not at all.
Okay.
I think it all comes. So if you take 7-OH, I have taken 7-OH.
I hear that shit's hard.
7-OH, absolutely, almost, and one attempt of 7-OH, and I didn't know any better. Almost entirely ruined 10 years of sobriety. What's that? So basically 7-OH is, so there's kratom, right? 7-OH is within the plant, and 7-OH is basically what works on, and I don't want to be quoted for like wrong information, so I'm kind of treading lightly on how I'm speaking. But essentially, you get 7-OH from kratom. People will extract it. That is what basically works on the same receptor as opioids. So basically, you take a little bit of 7-OH, like a normal dosage, it feels like a perk 30. That is where kratom gets the bad name. Kratom itself, when you filter out the 7-OH, which Uprising does and purposely leaves on the label to show you that it's 0.01% 7-OH, so you can see that it's filtered out. Basically, kratom doesn't even honestly give you the same effect. I mean, I guess at extremely high dosages it can, but like kratom gives you energy and makes you feel good and helps you, be talkative and alive. It's a very natural energy too. Like it's not jittery and cracked out like caffeine. And it can help you sleep, but it's not going to put you to sleep. Like you're not going to take it and be like, oh, I'm going to fall out. Like, no, you take it. If you take it and start playing Madden, you'll end up glued to Madden for 3 hours. Like you won't just fall asleep. But if
I don't
you
like
go
it.
and go ahead.
I don't like it. I don't like it before bed. It makes me
So
think.
because it makes exactly. So if you take it with like if you take it and you fall asleep at the same time every day, it will help with your REM sleep tremendously. However, if you are somebody I'm the same way, I have to take it about 2 or 3 hours before bed for it to actually help with my sleep because it makes my mind race.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
but then I could take like right after the show up until I think Thursday. I didn't take any. That weekend I didn't take any. Like I don't even think about it. Like it's just like I haven't been training hard this week, so I don't need the extra push in training. My cardio is not hard, so I don't need the extra push in cardio. Like I'm just kind of living life, just like chilling right now. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have a need to need the energy, so I haven't taken it. And I feel no different outside of the fact it's like not taking pre-workout before you lift. Like, yeah, when you lift, you're gonna be like, well, this kind of sucks. But like
just like we always talked about, I feel like it's caffeine and kratom, or what I was taking. It's just like a pre-workout. Do we need pre-workouts? No. Do we take them because we like them and we think we need them? Kinda, yeah, right. You want a little energy. I mean, it's the same thing.
Anytime I have a client that was like a former addict or had any substance abuse, if they already take it and they're like, yeah,
It's great. No, I don't feel any. I'm cool with it. But like, if they've never tried it, I never like tell them
I
they
won't
should try
recommend
it.
it. Yeah, I don't recommend it to anybody
Yeah.
that like I'd certainly if somebody has a history, I don't recommend it by any means. I had such a grip on my sobriety that I knew that it was something I could try, and not have an issue. And I didn't try 7OH until, um, a few months into have taken kratom. And I can tell you right now, it was the first time I took enough kratom to like feel it. Like I was like, holy shit, this stuff's fucking. It's pretty hits you pretty hard, you know.
the first time. Yeah.
Well, and I
Are
tried
there
it.
commercial companies that have 7OH that are
So
bodybuilding ones?
no, I mean, they all have a little bit, but no, man. You're gonna find 7OH. You're gonna find in head shops. You're
Smoke
gonna
shops
find,
and stuff.
yeah, stupid places that like they have a specific target audience. They know what they're doing. That's why. So that's kind of our fight, man. Like at Mid 45 and Uprising, like the fight that we're fighting is to basically try to change that because they give something that can just help you have fucking energy. This terrible fucking name, and it's ridiculous. Like it's like CBD. Like when CBD came out, you know what I mean? Like it is ridiculous that there's so much shade thrown towards it and the people who use it or believe in it. And I'm not going to name names, but somebody recently called us all dope peddlers and junkies.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Yeah. And we don't got to say nothing. At the end of the day, he has his reasons and his beliefs, and that's absolutely fine.
But the
But
thing is,
also, like,
Brady,
back it by science, dude. That's what makes me mad. Is he? So actually, the owner of our company is going on a podcast if they didn't do it already, with Dynamite D, and I think that the other person in which I'm speaking of will also be on there. And they are gonna Dynamite D. He has good scientific backing for his particular reasons, but he does not say things that aren't actually scientifically backed. So he'll give good conversation. However, though, I think both of them are still going to get taken to school because they're both trusting sources that aren't trusted sources. Does that make sense? Like if you Google kratom, you're going to find shit that does not make them trusted fucking sources. And that's going to be really what it comes down to is like we have such an availability to research and studies and true sources that You know, we understand the difference of all the things and the fact that kratom cannot, and the FDA actually had to say this publicly in court on paper. Kratom is not addictive. It is not by scientific law addictive.
No, what? Okay, it's like caffeine. Some people take caffeine every day, and
Habit forming.
I need my caffeine fix, but it doesn't mean it's addicted. I mean, that's
it's not physically addicting. It's not physically addicting. That's a 7-OH is physically addictive. And that is the biggest difference. And that is where all this bullshit that popped up that started all of this conversation, it was somebody who their first product may have been a kratom product. But what they ended up doing was they ended up going to a head shop somewhere, finding 7-OH that shouldn't even be legally sold to begin with. Like that's why getting kratom regulated is such a big thing that we need to get done. Because when it's regulated, you don't have this fucking bullshit. That it's genuinely illegal at that point to sell it. And now it's in the same category as opioids, right? Not kratom, 7-OH. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, it's black and white. So I don't understand how people don't understand this. But like I said, the thing that started all this was somebody that may have started with a kratom product, but then ended up getting a 7-OH product because they went to a head shop and said, "Hey, can I have kratom?" They said, "Oh, I got something for you." You know, give it to them. And the next thing you know, they're severely addicted and having all kinds of issues. How does that fall back on kratom? It doesn't. You know what I mean? Again, and this is where getting it regulated and having these conversations, though, too. That's why our owner wants to talk to Dynamite D and the person, because these are the discussions that, like, hey, you guys got bad intel. Let me explain this to you, and let's all be part of fixing this. You know what I mean?
But also, hey, you don't have to take kratom, you know that, right? Like
that's the other thing too. Exactly. Like
you don't have to do it. You know?
Sure, I posted my code. That you don't have to use my code.
You know, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, if it's something for you that fits your whatever you got going on, your agenda, great, do it. If it's not, if it don't align with you, you don't gotta. You know, I don't really take caffeine, honestly. I'll be besides whatever's in dialed already, like 100 milligrams. Which I usually drink like a half a dialed. That's about all the caffeine I get. Caffeine, it doesn't give me real energy. It just makes me feel, I don't know. I just don't. Down. Yeah, there's been preps where I've done like 600 milligrams caffeine. And I'm like, I still felt shitty. So whereas I do a fucking fraction of that with the kratom, and I feel great. So I'm like, well, then why would I do caffeine anyway? So I just stopped doing it. Just because it's available doesn't mean you have to do it. You know, so it's one of those things. We're all grown. I don't think anybody needs protection from anything. We're adults and we make our own choices. And we're on a bunch of drugs anyway. So let's try. We can act like we're innocent. Like,
that's where I'm trying to go. That's exactly what I'm trying to go with it. Like, all these people are like, "Oh, kratom's bad." You guys are bodybuilding. The fuck is wrong with you? Seriously, like.
We get on a podcast, but I've had guests. You talk about a gram of Tren, talk about 100 Halo. The comments love it. Whoa, I gotta try that. And you mentioned kratom, and then you see 10 comments.
Try 100 milligrams of fucking Halo. Good luck.
But I don't even take Halo anymore.
You don't take a Halo? It don't do a lot for me personally. Some people love it. Proviron, I still take Proviron, but I don't see like some kind of big difference from Proviron. I gotta be honest. Tren, I see it. I see Tren on stage. I see Winnie on stage. I see Master on stage. I mean, Halo and Proviron is always just been a staple. I don't really see anything. I gotta be honest with you. I look the same, you know. Anyways, I think it was good to touch on that a bit. But let's see what's up with the I'm gonna go Gilco. Gilco be having the best shit nowadays. All right. So New York Pro went on. Obviously, everybody knows. I don't think anybody was surprised on the results. But let's the classic. I thought the classic matchup was nice. Actually, I like this Terrence against Jose thing. But let's go to Regan. What Oh, let's start with
Ken?
homie Ken. What you guys think about his debut?
It's great for a debut.
Phenomenal.
He looked how I thought he was gonna look. He was big.
Mhm.
He's round. He wasn't honestly. His glutes were stripped more than I've ever seen it. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. He actually surpassed the condition I thought he would have in the glutes and hams. You know the West Africans.
Start the video over again real quick.
That's crazy.
You know the West Africans don't have the best glutes and hams in the game.
What's crazy is right here on his front double is you see how much more size he can add.
You can't, yeah.
Because he's huge already, right? But he looks stringy across the shoulders and arms.
Am I crazy or is he flat?
Yes.
He might be.
It's his legs that are like he can't squeeze them all the way. And I know I haven't paid close attention, but I don't think he's really ever had trouble.
You're talking about his left leg? He's always had that problem.
It was both of them. They both looked a little bit. I don't know.
It looked like they pulled a lot of water.
So Ken is about 5'6.5" ish, but surprisingly, Ken has really long arms. Like, I don't know if you noticed that he has extremely long arms. So his arms are his arms are actually huge, but he has long arms. Like Kai Green had long arms too. So he actually could get a lot bigger arms, which they're already fucking big. But he could actually get his arms bigger. His legs are huge. I don't think he needs. I don't think he needs any more legs at all. But yeah, I feel like arms and shoulders could actually get bigger and look better. You know, his back came up a lot. I feel like North
his
American
back is massively better.
Improved. Yeah, glutes and hamstrings, all that. He didn't have that amount of detail back there. So I think this was a really fucking good pro debut, and he fit right in the lineup. He looked polished. Everything was on tan, oil. Everything was good. I like how he took his time with his posing. A lot of rookies, I think because they're nervous, maybe they go so fast. Like they don't want to take up spot. Let me let Nick and Regan take their time, but let me just get in here and get out. Like he took command of the stage. Like he's been doing this. Like I'm gonna take my time. Like they're gonna wait. They're gonna let you go. You know, this not it's not the amateur stage. You know, so he really took his time. I like that. Well, shout out Ken. Yeah. What place did he actually get? I didn't see the final.
6.
And who got 5th? Sauce, right?
Oh yeah, Sauce.
Chris
was 4.
Yeah, that's a great look.
Yeah, look at that front. Just don't click on it, but look at that front last pair. It looks wild.
It does look wild. Yeah. Wait, Crizzle moved up to 3rd somehow. No?
Yeah.
Oh, he moved to 3rd? I thought he was 4th.
Well, with all due respect, how did he pass? How did he pass Regan? I thought Regan looked really good.
Regan was stringy as shit. That's the smallest Regan we've ever seen for sure.
I didn't think that. Looking at that, he didn't
go look at his video and watch his thing. He always has like the best back. His back was even smaller.
Really? Okay.
His legs are way.
I just don't understand how you've been a pro this long and you still can't fucking pose.
It's not even like your posing needs work. It's not necessarily like your posing needs work. It's just like you look extremely uncomfortable.
His posing needs work. He needs a lot of posing work. Like you can't tell me nobody in his circle is telling him to fix this. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
There has to be mobility or something. Like,
bro, you can't convince me somebody's that immobile. I won't believe it.
Well, he did just have surgery on the shoulder.
He did, yeah. That pose got worse. The back double got worse for sure. Yeah. But I gotta be honest though, as far as like
peeled,
what the fuck? Crizzle usually comes in peeled and flat, or like full and a little watery. I think this is actually it's a good combo. I didn't see the individual one until just now, and he actually looks really good. So I'm not that surprised he got there now. Originally, when I saw the comparisons, maybe it was the angle, I don't know, but Regan looked bigger than him. He looked harder than him. He looked a lot better than him.
Well, you see the issue. His legs are just too straight.
Wait, now looking at this, he actually does look smaller than I thought he
Yeah,
was. Maybe
this
because
is the smallest Regan we've ever seen, for sure.
how about condition as far as
It's
Regan's
probably
condition?
it's close to one of the best if you don't count Aceto. Like the last couple of years, yes, but with Aceto, I don't know why he ever left Aceto.
Macedo really always had him nailed, bro.
Yeah. I used to watch him. I used to watch him for my very first prep, like all his YouTube videos. He was always dug out and perfect.
I mean, Aceto brought him down to classic. His weight cap was he was way above his weight cap.
Yeah. See his back, you can tell he lost a lot, even in the back. His back is always normally great, like way better than that. And that's
his back.
good.
His back is usually the best in every show he does.
It's normally really dense. You can tell he's still flat here, or just too sucked down. He couldn't come back.
He's actually very flat. It's crazy. I didn't notice this in the pictures, but like look at his arms, even his arms, right? Now he looks really aesthetic. This is probably one of the most aesthetic I've seen him look. His waist is down, everything, but yeah, he is really flat actually.
And he normally doesn't pull that vacuum. He's not a vacuum guy, so.
Personally, I like this look better than most of his looks.
Oh, I mean, it's probably the best look, but it's still a small look.
It is, but I don't know, man, because like I feel like I don't bring out my true look until I go into the depths of hell, to where I go to like where I'm almost too flat to come back from.
Yeah.
And I think he's that kind of same person because, like, look at this dude. His hams are dug the fuck out, and he's not even. What's funny is his right glute's not even squeezed all the way. Like if you push his pelvis,
he don't flex.
Right. So like his glutes would be even more dug out if he wanted to push.
So basically, exactly what that says. It's kind of like the Martin situation. They brought him in too heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because they were scared to lose tissue.
Yeah.
Just more tissue, you can dig harder and not have to worry about if you lose a little bit. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually changed my mind. I think his best look was that Olympia with Milos because he looked bigger than Crizzle that year because Crizzle was flat, but still, I think he was more than conditioned enough, but bigger. Why do you guys think that he takes years off, but he doesn't add significant tissue?
I'm not going to speak on that.
Do you guys think there's genetics play into? Of course it does to some extent, but do you think genetics play a big part of that, or more so?
No, he has some of the best genetics there is.
Look, every guy who doesn't do cardio, who gets peeled,
Brett Wilkin,
they always sweat like crazy on stage. Hunter, these guys who don't need a lot of cardio to get peeled, they always are soaked on stage because they're not truly conditioned. Their heart, cardiovascular system is not conditioned.
Samson does some cardio, but not enough.
Because I've now felt the difference. I didn't do cardio last year, and I couldn't pose worth a fucking shit. Every time I would pose, I'd be soaked in sweat.
Now here's the thing, though. Here's another thing. Yeah, I agree with you, but what if it's not just the heart deal? Which I mean, I guess it would be if you're not doing cardio. But when you're doing cardio, you're gonna sweat, so your body's regulatory with that sweating. And if you just don't do any fucking sweating and then you do activity and you're going to hold water, then the water's going to come out because your body's not used to it sweating out and stuff like that. It could be a
I see what you're saying. Like their heart rate that long and it's breaking sweat now.
Yeah, I see that too.
When I pose, I have zero sweat, zero cramps. I do so much cardio that I can literally pose forever, right? So when Compton was here, he told me like, "I take a break." I was like, "I don't need a fucking break. I'll do this show. I'll do this shit the whole day. This it feels like nothing. If you do 2 hours of cardio, you know, and like not like low intensity cardio, you think posing is gonna get me tired? Like, it's one of those things.
And it's funny though too, because like I'll watch these guys go 5 straight rounds, 10-second holds a pose perfectly fine and not sweat. It really does, like shit changes when you're on stage. Like, and I've noticed that my heart rate's always higher. Your adrenaline does go through, so the emotional factor that he was talking about also comes in. I don't know, man. Like I said, I've had both. Even when I was posing. Yeah, fuck, I'm spitting everywhere today. But I was posing conditioned last year. I posed my ass off because I didn't have cardio. So like I made damn sure I was always posing. And then, dude, every single fucking time I got on stage, by the time I turned around, it was running off me. And then this year, I actually planned this year to be ready to be soaked in sweat. And I ended up not sweating at all for a single fucking second, backstage or on stage at all, the entire fucking day. Like, I was literally like, are you fucking, like, I changed my entire tanning protocol to just so I can, like, make sure I'm not sweating my tan off, and now I'm not fucking sweating.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
But
You're
yo,
so guilt though. You probably didn't have none of sweat.
yeah,
You're so
we
guilt.
fucking fail. But yo, I know Stefan does like he'll do, depending on where he'll do like a little bit of diet, a little bit of diet with the meals, right? But Martin doesn't look like he does any diuretics, bro. Like as full.
when you give like a 16th or an 8th, dude, like it's so little.
Like dust. It's just
Yeah,
it just helps you
Okay.
keep peeing.
that's literally all it's gonna do. It's not. It's just gonna make you pee.
Martin actually, Regan literally looks like somebody, the poster boy. Like that's what diuretics look like to me. Like if you're flat from diuretics, you look exactly how Regan looked. Like he's peeled, but there's no pop against the skin, right? Whereas
There's no pressure on the muscle.
exactly,
You remember Sergio? It looked kind of similar to Sergio's look. At the
yeah, 100%. Well, I also think Sergio didn't have all his muscle back on top of that, but that same look, he was in shape.
So can
but
we
there
look
was no
at
pressure.
all the common denominators? Everybody we're mentioning is one with balls, but is normally their first preps with balls.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
You don't just
prep.
know it. Like even if you go back and you look at Detroit for Martin, he wasn't the fullest he could possibly be, and so
No.
you got to think he probably is not saying like a cookie cutter, but he knows something that works.
For sure.
And then, so like with my coach, we always do pretty close to the same thing with minor tweaks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like for my very first national with him, we didn't cut water at all. I was still completely shredded, but as I got bigger, we noticed that we could pull water harder and I would stay full. And then he's like, all right, we can pull water, use a little bit of diuretics as well, do this. And then this last show, we even pulled growth hormone to see what would happen. And my upper body was definitely probably, you know, it was way flatter than it should have been.
Wait.
So you always find it's always going to be let that motherfucker work his magic and figure out what little tweaks to do.
Why? Question. So you felt like you looked worse when you pulled out growth? Wait, for you?
For Detroit, my upper body was flat as shit. Yes.
But was it drier than usual or no?
I'm always dry.
But okay, so would you do it again? Is what I'm asking. Was it a net positive?
For Texas, I will not pull growth.
Okay.
If you stay
drop growth down, say if I'm doing 10, I may do 5, but I won't take it all the way out.
See, I never understood too, like why if you can be hard as nails with GH and don't pull it.
Yeah,
there's no need. Like I hold water on it, so like for me, like I got to get rid of it for 3 or 4 weeks out. Otherwise,
it's funny. I experiment with this stuff myself too. Like even now, like I've only been training 4 days a week, right? So on Saturday and Sunday, I will only take my morning growth hormone. By Monday morning, I'm fucking dry, and then I will put my normal 10 back in. Tuesday when I wake up, I'm full as a house and still dry as like crazy. So I got it figured out.
If I did 10 IUs of growth this morning, tomorrow morning I'll be 10 pounds heavier.
Well, I won't do 10.
What kind of juice you taking?
It doesn't matter which kind for me. I mean, I kind of switch between brands, but I think I take the same one Justin's taking. I do a lot of the what's it called? Is that the Meditrope? Oh no, they're out of stock now. They don't have it anymore. They don't have the Meditrope. So Meditrope, and I would do the Biolabs. I do a bunch of different types. I don't do farm anymore though. But farm used to do the same thing, similar thing. I can't in prep. I can't take more than 2-3 IUs of GH if I want to see what I look like. Because if not, I'm just looking at this kind of like blown up version of myself. That's not real. It's not real. You know.
It's actually funny. Somebody sent me my 5-week out check-ins the other day, and they're like, "I didn't even notice how shitty you looked." And I was like, yeah, GH was still in. I was like, the next week I looked like I was in prep. And like that's
Yeah.
why like when you're prepping me, like luckily Stefan understood this time. So Stefan didn't push me harder. He just stuck to the code, stuck to the plan. And it was like when you pull GH, you'll suck down. You know, like he trusted in that. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, like, you just gotta trust in this. And that's
But
what he did. And then the second he pulled GH, bro, within a week, I lost 10 pounds. Like my look
good.
came back, and then every check-in after that was like 2 pounds down, 2 pounds down, 2 pounds down,
Good.
2 pounds down, 2 pounds. You know what I mean?
But I want to ask Justin. Yeah, but you said you take some diuretic. Like you would take diuretic with GHN still?
Yeah. I wouldn't
Oh.
change anything.
See, like if I took diuretic,
See, now
with
when I
GH
say I take diuretic, I will take an 8th Thursday night, and I may take an 8th on maybe it depends. That 8th on Thursday may carry me over, and I'll be perfectly fine. I will just see how I kind of like before I'm going to bed. Like if we maybe could use a little bit just to help keep peeing, I'll take another 8th. So it's literally a quarter over 2 days. It's not like it's
Yeah,
not.
but-
I wouldn't even really call it a diuretic protocol. Diuretics, when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm taking diuretics," they're taking at least a half a diazide, or maybe
Yeah.
even a couple whole diazides. But that's just a different type of body. They're using it literally to extract water. Where I'm coming, water's coming down. We don't want the diuresis to stop.
I've never actually tried keeping the GH and taking diuretics because just my way of thinking, I always felt like I'm gonna hold so much water from the GH that I didn't feel like the diuretic would make a difference. But I might be wrong. Shit, I might look better. I mean, I guess you
Here's
don't
how
know.
you know when you're about to start going flat. You need to check on your pee color. If your pee color starts getting dark and then all of a sudden it gets light again, that's when you went into muscle water.
Yeah. So you
Have you ever heard of that? You ever thought about that?
It's never even crossed
Like
my
if
mind.
it's starting to get dark, what
Yeah,
you're doing
never.
is you're peeing out electrolytes. Once you
Okay.
get into muscle water, those electrolytes are staying in the muscle. You're not bringing them out with it.
Okay. I might try that. I mean, the GH, as long as it's a low dose, I think 2 IUs. What's the worst that can happen? Like how watery can I be
Why
on
don't
2
you,
IUs?
why don't you just try 16?
Yeah, that
You'll be
for me is
full. You'll be full.
yeah. I
The
don't
thing
have.
is get ready early and you can play with it. Be like, all right, I'm gonna pull my growth out for 3 or 4 days. You should drop that water off. You'll see what you look like, and then put it slowly back in, or put it a big bolus back in, and your muscle sucks it up before you get the excess spillover into the extracellular cells, not intracellular.
That's exactly what happens. The best I look is when I come off of it and throw
And
it
then
back
put it
in.
right back in that day, and you fucking blow up like a balloon.
Exactly. But
The next day?
huh?
The next day it comes back that quick?
Yeah. But it only looks good for another like 2-3 days before I start to look
that's all
worried.
you need though. You're only peaking for fucking 1 day.
Also, you mean like do that for like show? It will be show day, like that morning or the day before.
Probably the day before.
Yeah.
It depends.
I mean,
Friday.
I would put it back in Friday, and you should
I'll be
wake
full
up
as
right.
fuck. And it's still
Hey,
pour
boys,
water,
I gotta
right?
hop off here.
All right, Brady, you already know.
I agree. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, you already know. I might try that, but then I'm still gonna limit the water, like the water.
But yeah, exactly. You would do this. You would keep the same protocol. Just know that you got to keep a little water in as well because you got to get it to go there. But you would be able to put it in that Friday, and hopefully your muscles are going to suck it all up. And then you have enough time. So that's where you would play with it, like or if you're going to do multiple shows, you can play with it, or you can do it if you're ready early, pull it out,
Yeah.
and then put it in. It's like if you're going to take Anadrol, you want to know how many days you can take it at that dose before you start to spill.
Yeah,
It's the
fully
same
left.
thing with
Okay.
food. Like if you think about food as well, it's like it's the same mindset as food. How much carbs can I push it for how long before I look shitty? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would do the same thing. Like maybe you try it and you go like, all right, I'm just gonna see what 2 IUs does, and you notice you wake up, I don't even notice anything. Then you would try
Exactly, yeah.
4 IUs, and then you wake up, I notice a little bit, but I'm still kind of flat, but I'm dry as shit still. You went to 6 to 10, then you know you have that long that you can put it in, and if you're gonna go a higher dose, probably the day before 10 fucking IUs, and you would shoot up. This is actually what John Meadows used to do.
Oh,
John
take it
used
out,
to
put it back in.
fucking literally load himself up, but because he dug down so hard always to make 212 and the light heavies when he was doing the light heavies, that he would just put Serostim 16 or 18 IUs Serostim, and it would balloon them back up.
But like for how long would he do that? Like the entire week? Or
I have to be after weigh-in.
Or
Yeah,
he had to
would
make
have to
weight.
weigh
Yeah.
in.
So
he would literally be jamming 18 IUs after weigh-ins and then fucking eat and then
that'll work. That'll work. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely gonna try. I mean, listen, I'm 10 weeks out from USA's, and I'm within like 8-10 pounds of my stage weight. I don't look that look yet because I haven't started training and running any of all of that. So the composition is still gonna shift. It's shifting like every day. Like I've been the same weight for a little bit, and its composition is just shifting. So I'm probably going to be ready in the next 5 weeks or so. So I'm going to have 5 weeks to play with the look, which is dope. You know, I've never been in that position before, so that's going to be good. I wanted to get that shit out the way.
But also remember, like when you're playing with the look, you're probably not going to mess with your diet a whole lot because you're trying to still lose fat.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, you're very
sensitive
to water from carbs themselves. So you got to remember what you're playing with. You're playing with a lot of variables, but if you can keep the biggest deal is you got to keep you got to keep all variables the same except one. You play with one at a time, figure out what works, and then you know you'll figure it out. But I mean, it is hard to do to self-assess. That's the biggest deal is just self-assessment because we're always going to fuck with our own minds. You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing my own prep, but I'm definitely gonna have eyes on me. I'm probably gonna have Compton or should I can have I'll probably have you look at me too. And yeah, I mean it's for me also the cardio because you gotta factor in my carb up and cardio. So if I'm going for this is the least cardio I've done. I'm only at an hour, which is a little for me. But let's say I go from 60 to 90 minutes of cardio to no cardio, right? I'm not gonna need as much carbs to fill out.
Yeah, because your energy expenditure is not out. Yeah.
Exactly. So usually when I say I don't carb up, it's because the shift, right? So if I go up just 30, if I cut out 2 hours of cardio, the next day I'm probably up a pound. You know what I'm saying? So then I need less carbs, and then you add in the GH, you know. So my carbs probably will not go up much from baseline. You know, right now it's like 30 carbs a day. It might be max 80, 90.
Honestly is nice. Like people don't understand. It's not fun having to shove that much food in you.
I don't want
to. Then your stomach, because you got to digest it. You ate all that food. You eat 1,000 grams of carbs a day before. It's hard for your body to digest that. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be bloated. So I would love to be able to wake up on show day and not even have to eat. But I always have to eat a big meal at like 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And then hopefully I'm full enough by then.
You know what that does? So I'm gonna show you something. So this was with 5 meals in. So this was like 12 midnight, right? But because my carbs are so low, you couldn't tell. So this was after almost all my meals, but I could still pull a vacuum, right? Yeah. So what that does is you see guys with like Andrew who doesn't need a lot of food. Well, what's the counter? What's the pros to that? You don't have a lot of food in your stomach, right? Exactly, so you can always control your stomach. So I think first of all, who the fuck wants to eat that much food out the blue, you know? And then you won't have to control your stomach as much, you know. All right, but let's go back to this.
Probably all bodybuilders have to eat something in the morning.
I watch a lot of these classic guys. You know, they're pulling on deep ass vacuums. A lot of times they don't eat the day of the show.
Oh, I know they don't. Yeah, I'm just saying, like open. I think like it'll be hard
Yeah.
Not
For
to.
for USA's in 23, I didn't eat anything show day, but I was flat as fuck. But my stomach was
Especially in the pro
pretty.
league, bro. You're not going to get away. Like, you think about how much easier it would be if Nick could be able to control his midsection, and it looks great now. But how much better would it be if he didn't have to eat? Because I know he's eating 500 grams of rice that morning, maybe a second meal, and then snacking, maybe even have a little meal before going on stage. It's not easy, filling up those muscles like that, dude.
It's no joke. Let's look at Nick.
We only got to Regan.
Who do which look his front relax is getting better, bro. I don't think it was as good as this is the best I've seen his front relax. Right? But
he was lighter here.
Do you think this was a better look than Pittsburgh?
I think they're very comparable, but I don't think it was as good as Pittsburgh. I think they probably, which this sounds stupid, it's probably not true. They probably knew they didn't really have to worry about anybody as much.
They don't, yeah, they don't. So
I think there's certain things. I think honestly, I don't know this, but he kind of looks a little flat to me, especially in that back double.
It's hard to tell when Nick is flat.
It's different. It's different lighting too, but I think he's a little flat, honestly.
Yeah, he fucking dug out though, bro. His hammies and legs.
He looks great, dude.
Yeah, this is. I mean, to be honest, I'm really happy for him because he had a rough couple of years. But one thing Nick is good at is doing what everybody says he can't do. So shout out to Nick. I want to get him back on the pod. It's been a long time.
Yeah, with his 3 rings.
Yeah.
You see him wearing the bitches around his neck.
I saw.
Clowning.
Sauce be having his toes pointed forward.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck you do that and still have big legs.
Yeah. He was just too full. They did way too much fullness on this one.
See, but that's the thing because you come in peeled and everybody's like,
yeah,
you got to be bigger, but bigger and fuller are two different things, right? It's
two different things. Yeah. I mean, it's still a great look. Like I would love to look like that on stage, but he's not near as dry as he was. And when they see you dry one time, they remember it sticks in their mind. And you don't show up like that. I don't care if he'd have been 50 pounds bigger, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, look at his glutes. Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't in Sauce shape because Sauce shit is stripped.
Yeah, because the exercise doesn't really matter for him for this show.
I don't, because the truth is that he actually looks bigger when he's peeled. That's the crazy part. It's like a Sean Roden. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get why, but yeah, it didn't work out the way. Now, you guys remember when he first got on the scene, he had really big arms. I remember he had crazy triceps. Y'all remember that shit?
Yeah. When he did the cow way back in the day.
Yeah, like his arms is like it went flat, and like not even flat. Like it lost muscle from.
He is older, and he took that time off. It's probably hard as fuck to get it back.
It is, yeah. It's like it's trying to happen to Bonac, but Bonac's arms genetically are so big that even that it's shrinking, it's still crazy. Okay, so look at Sauce's arms early on. Look at his triceps, bro.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Those are right.
If I could find like a younger version of him, yeah, he had crazy arms, but yeah, it happens as you get older. All right, well, good show.
He's gonna be at Cal. I think I'm glad Regan looks smaller. It's gonna help me out.
That's next week. I mean, I'm definitely gonna be there. But that's crazy how it's already next week. I felt like it came out of nowhere, bro. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be Sauce, Nick. I don't think Ken is doing it. Oh, not Nick. Sauce. No, I'm sorry, not Nick. Regan, Bonac, right?
Leandro.
Oh yeah, okay.
Florian.
Florian, holy shit. Okay, Florian. That's
and
interesting.
then Justin Muzio or whatever.
That's I know that. That's the
guy
young
that
guy
did Detroit earlier, isn't it?
he looked good. He looked really good.
Yeah.
Wait,
He's
is
on
Ronald
the-
is Ron doing it? Ron Gordon doing it?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen him in a couple weeks.
I mean, he lives out here and he's still in shape, so I don't know.
I'm
Maybe.
sure he is.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be fun. And it might be more people that we might not even
There's gonna
haven't
be
talked about it.
people, yeah.
I thought it would be more in New York. I mean, it was only 11, I think.
A lot of them
Really?
skipped it. They just knew Nick was
Because
going
Nick.
to
Yeah, but if you're in shape, I mean, why not? You know, fuck it.
Don't ask me.
I'm gonna try to do the Legion the next week too.
Ken's doing Legion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So why he not doing Cal if he's doing region?
Because he has to work, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know, he's moving to Texas too, right?
Yeah, I'm jealous, bro. I'm fucking
Hey,
jealous.
you
bro.
see I'm in a different spot, right?
Oh, you already moved.
I moved yesterday.
To Texas? What? Nice.
Well, I want to go see.
It's
Y'all make it
Dallas?
look so.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Y'all make it look so easy, boy. Like it's a lot of work to move, bro. There's
Bro,
a lot
I've had this going on in the background for a long time, and I finally just was like, F it. I'm being selfish. And I just left.
Yeah, that's the only way because there's always gonna be something. Oh, but my clients. Oh, but yeah, my family here. You know, but my
family will always be my family regardless.
This is true.
And I'm only 5 hours away from my family, anyways. So
that's not bad. Well, my family they actually plan on moving to Texas as well, but I think they want to move Houston. I ain't going to Houston.
I don't really care for Houston that much, honestly.
I'm not going to Houston.
There's a lot of
it would have to. It would have to be the gym culture is actually good though, but
yeah, I mean, kind of not. It's not like crazy or nothing. You got Labrada.
You have is Terrence in Houston?
He trains
out there often.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything like.
See, here's the deal, though. It's about to get crazy because Martin and Brett are going to open a gym there, and Terrence is opening a gym there.
In Houston?
Yeah.
Why Houston? Why Houston instead of?
I'm not real sure, dude. Honestly.
Is that where Hani is? Where's Hani?
No, Hani's in Dallas.
Yeah, to me, Dallas is where it's at personally.
Dallas is where it's at, bro. Like tomorrow, me and Jordan's training camp starts.
Oh, you guys gonna train together?
Yeah, we're both doing Texas Pros. And we're just gonna. I need to work on posing. I'm like, dude, I'm getting up in the morning. I'm going to pose a destination. You can come if you want. We're gonna do our cardio. We're gonna train. We're gonna pose after.
That like we all can get it done on our own, but bro, there's a different level of crazy. There's a different level of recruitment.
When you see, like we were just talking about where I was at, dude. I was really training at an athletic club. Old people, bro. Like just looking at me crazy. They can't spot me, nothing like that. Me, Brandon, and Jordan, bro. A fucking machine's gonna break before we break.
That's insane.
It's gonna be bad.
But it's not the same. Like we're always gonna get it done. Under no circumstances do we not train hard. No. We can't not train hard. But you see the difference. We all see the difference when I was in there with Joe and Paul, whole different mindset, whole different focus. You know, so sometimes I miss that shit. And it would be way more in Dallas.
You see, I've never had it like that, except when I come here. Because I'm literally the only open pro ever from Arkansas ever. Period.
Damn. Yeah, so you ain't no like big amateurs, like strong amateurs. Damn.
They're all I'm not gonna start. Let's just go past that.
How many weeks is Texas?
It'll be 11 and a half, or it'll be 12 yesterday. It'll be 11 this coming up weekend.
Okay.
I want to go. I want because when I went, because I don't live there, so anytime I go, it's fun, bro. It's just fun.
Think about how big that show's going to be. It's going to be all of the Canadian boys. It's going to be, if Justin doesn't win Tampa the weekend before, he'll be him. Whoever doesn't win Tampa, like De La Rosa and all them, Jewett's doing it. Jordan's doing it. Like
I think Joe. Wait, I think Joe doing Tampa.
Joe's going to do it because he's doing Tampa. He's going to come out here.
Boy, that's fun, bro. That's fun as fuck.
All of us are going to be competing together. It's going to be dope.
That's fucking fun, yeah. And y'all all got really different physiques, but in your own right, very impressive bodybuilders, bro.
Yeah, you know? I'm doing it because I need to get my face out there more. Here's the deal: is like I'm ready to push Jordan to where like he needs to believe that he can win because he can win.
Well, the incredible part about Jordan is like when you see him start his journey, you didn't think he had those tools. You're like, well, I mean, he's balanced. Huh?
The very first time I remember seeing him was when he won USA's, and I was like, "Damn, why the fuck didn't I do USA's?"
Well, yeah, because you're like he doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, but you're like nothing's really jumping out. He's like, okay, he's just like he's cool, and then he's getting bigger and harder, and bigger, and you're like, yo, this shit is. Can I say it's starting to get like a little freaky? Like I didn't think that would be his journey. But then he's still kind of aesthetic, and he's
not kind of. He is very aesthetic.
But and his posing is good. So that you're like, yo, this person, most people with his genetics wouldn't get as far as he did, but he's making the most of it to the point you're like, well, he does have good genetics, right? But it's only because he got the most out of it.
But he works his ass off too, and he's very open to learning. Like when we train back together. He knows my back's better than his. And he's open to, he's like, bro, how would you do this? And like, I give him a pointer and he's like, he'll send me a video of him doing it. Like, he's very open to it. Like we took his feet and momentum out of like a chest supported row. Basically like put your feet behind you where you're not even bracing with them and just pull with your back. And his back's grown, but he's very open to learning and he's very regimented. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. He checks boxes. That's all bodybuilding is. You check all the boxes every day. You're going to get wins,
We saw somebody like Robin, who everybody was like, bro, this guy won't even turn pro. Like, there's no way he turns pro. And look at Robin now. And it's like, it's not like any major jumps. He's not adding 15 pounds of muscle a year. It's just every year he's bigger and harder and bigger and harder. And then you're like, bro, you look like a fucking freak now too. Just like that, Like these guys are just checking boxes, bro, and they seem like such calm, they don't seem like people who have like this crazy high drive, but don't get it twisted. They got that dog too. They just don't conduct themselves in that way. It's just not their personality, but they got that dog in them,
Exactly. That's just not their personality.
Yeah,
they don't seem like they don't get like they're always very level headed, like. They're they're not like this. That's where a lot of emotional people, when they're like this, when they're down here, they're down there. When they're up here, they're doing great. But when they're down here, they're probably spending more time down here than they are up here. So
you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful. Well, this was a good one. I feel like we had some really good conversations on this one.
We didn't even really talk about bodybuilding. Just so nice.
Yeah, like for me, like I know when I watch podcasts. I like watching bodybuilders talk about everything. Yeah. Like that to me is the most fun. I don't want to hear only X's and O's. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know why I enjoy that. Like just even watching a bodybuilder
it's walking around. It's more personal.
Yeah.
Like people understand that we are humans too. We're not just bodybuilders.
Am I the only one who does this? Let's say Martin posts a video. I'll fast forward the workout. And just watch.
I don't watch workouts. I don't watch.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't give a fuck what you're doing workout wise.
I really don't care. So I'll skip that part and then watch him just do random shit. Fucking playing with
buy Legos.
Yeah. Like walking around to sneakers. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why I find that so entertaining. But everything besides the training is the part I want to watch.
Bro, I really want to go buy a Lego set, but I walked in there and the one I wanted was like $150. I'm like, bro, for Legos?
Expensive.
Yeah.
I might just give me a fucking puzzle.
if you want your prep to be like fun, you need like get a Game Boy Advance or some shit.
Dude, you know what pisses me off, bro? So I said I moved, right? dude, I always use this one treadmill at the gym that I was at. I would do 20 minutes. I always do 20 minutes of post-workout cardio. I just do it, get on my phone. If I have to make a post, I'll make a post. Somebody was on it. I went to the other side of the gym where they have more treadmills. The fucking treadmills had Angry Bird on them, bro. Dude, I played it the last 2 days I was there, bro. I ended up going like 30, 45 minutes on there because I'm just playing Angry Birds, bro.
Yeah. But because in prep, do you find that like you don't have the focus to like watch a really good TV show?
I can't watch a movie. I can hardly watch one YouTube video.
I can't focus. I'll see Nick Walker like catching up on shows. I'm like, yo, how do you focus?
How he does that?
And he gets. I'm like, how do you even focus on the show? I'll put it on and I get restless. I can't just watch it. I'm like, I can't do this. So having something like, and the game can't be too complicated. It has to be like, I don't know,
Angry
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's the only way my brain feels. I feel less stressed out and I feel peaceful. You know, I feel like that peace of mind. Now I'm finding it with, believe it or not, bro, dog training. Like training my dogs to be like perfect dogs. Like I'm like canine unit dogs, bro. And they love it too. And I'm like, oh, this is great because I'll watch some YouTube videos and I'll go outside train them. And that shit is bringing me peace, bro. I gotta be honest with you. So,
nice.
All right, y'all. I gotta go eat.
All right, brother.
I'll catch y'all later.
See you. Have a good one, guys. Later.